When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
All right, and we are back, everybody. Hello, panel.
Oh, this'll kill you. This'll kill us eventually. Oh man.
Oh,
Mountain Dew. Again.
Hello, panel, and hello, chat. Everybody in the live chat, how are you all doing? I hope everybody's doing well anyway. And we have another fun night of, stupidity in store. I'm not really sure if you can call it fun, but we'll try.
Yeah. Fun, she said.
Fun,
It'll be a
torture,
laugh,
same
she
difference.
said. Right.
I guess it all depends on who you ask. So we're back for another night. We're a little bit late this week. We're a day late. I do apologize to everybody for moving this back a day. It just kind of worked out better that we didn't have to cut it short tonight because of my work schedule. So, we get to enjoy more stupid together. So I want to go through. We do have a decent sized panel tonight, and let everybody do their quick introduction. And we will start with Jen.
oh, hi. Starting with me. Oh boy. Hi everybody. How are you tonight? I'm doing fine, thank you. That's all I got to say.
That's a good introduction. I like it. From there, we'll go over to Mom NATO.
Hi, folks. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope they've enjoyed the lovely weather everywhere. Right.
Yeah, it's been a little cold and blustery and some snow, some rain. Yep.
Oh, we've gotten lucky. We haven't. The heat kicked on once last night, and it's the first time it's kicked on for the last week.
Well, then it seems you fared okay. I like this part of the show when I have to, say who's going to introduce themselves next, because I don't tell anybody ahead of time, so it's kind of like my my ready check for the panel. You got to be on your toes. From there, we'll go over to Bo.
Toes, you said? Nice segue. Yeah. Hi. I'm up to no good as usual. What do you have to say? Oh yeah, moist, naked feet. I don't know what to say today. Oh yeah, I'm drinking water. Woohoo! I'm gonna die.
Well, thanks for the moist, naked feet, Bo. I appreciate it.
Moist, naked feet has to mention at least once.
Yeah, and no, JC, no, they were not meant for. They were not meant for it. Don't put them on the wheel.
Oh, okay.
They were not meant for the wheel. Jen, did you send them to her?
Yep.
Don't tell me you
No,
said.
I would never do that.
You liar. Oh well. Yeah, I'll go find some bleach, I think. Oh, or some cyanide. I don't know. Oh wait, I forgot. I can make explosives. Well, I have to wait till they open the shops, but I know how to make stuff. I'll just do it that way instead.
You can make some potions, can't you?
Yeah, I mean the Danish EOD, explosive ordnance disposal, in this country, they don't get to do a whole lot of real bomb kind of stuff, so they need something to do. And then again, maybe not.
Well,
I
good
know I'm
to
not licensed anymore, but I better not, squeeze that lemon.
Well, with that, I think we'll go over to RJ.
Hello. I'll be sort of sporadic in reaction because I'm literally working on the finishing touches for the Rocks Were There book as we speak, and so I am conflicted.
Nice work.
Now, up at let's see, page 475.
How many citations?
Out
Oh,
of...
I think it's around 3,000.
Jeez.
Oh my god. No, I remember.
Are you just like a bloodhound when it comes to sources?
Oh yeah, especially since there's so much available. Jackson and I could not have done this book even 5 years ago. The material wouldn't have been available, but it is now.
I remember having to do citations for my medical classes and stuff in college. Oh God, I always hated finding.
Yeah, well, we were really lucky. I mean, what would you think the odds would be that you could find an obscure 1893 medical book available online? But it was.
Not at all surprised.
Yeah, so the range of material has made it just spectacular. And for those who have read Slam Dunk, wait till you see The Rocks Were There.
Oh God.
All right. Well, with that, thank you, RJ. We'll go over to Tornado.
Hi, I'm Tornado in a junkyard, and I'm finding out very quickly that every woo scenario I touch ends with the catastrophic devastation of the planet and or the universe. As is with this latest video from Bruce Lipton, where I addressed several things that Team Skeptic really should have addressed that should have turned it into an idiot video, which resulted in temperatures orders of magnitude higher than those found at the very beginning of the universe.
Awesome. With that, we'll go over to Chris Kelling.
Yeah, good evening, good morning, and all that wonderful time zone stuff.
Hi,
I don't
Chris.
know how I can follow up with Bo, but
Yeah.
other than I'm continuing to procrastinate and actually get a video out. So
You got it, by the way.
Alrighty, and then we'll go over to last but not least would be Sean Hufford.
Yeah, I'm here and stuff. How you doing?
Yep, he's here and stuff. That's about all the introduction he needs, I guess. Alright, so with that, we do have some stupid on the wheel tonight. Some of them are videos that we haven't gotten to in the last couple of movie nights. And
Am I correct in understanding that it might be Madison Star Moon?
it could possibly be, yes.
Oh dear.
So, let's see here. Give me a minute to get the wheel up here.
Bring on the wheel!
Alright. So, on the wheel tonight, we have our fake ISS video from Madison Star Moon. We have our video games Melting the Brain by Nathan Thompson.
Oh God.
And then we have NASA Lies, and that was a
Mr. Thrive and Survive.
Mr. Thrive and Survive video.
Ooh, I want that one.
Now,
That's
does
not
NASA
his
lie
name.
about the video games? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I guess maybe Nathan decides to tell us that, NASA's the one that puts the violent video games out there.
Merge
I'm
genres and
hoping
then
for
do the
Thriving
That
Bollywood
sounds
music.
like two videos that need to be merged.
Wow. Okay, anybody
All
in the
three of
audience
them, really,
who
but-
caught all of that? Yeah. Who caught all of people talking? Yeah. I'm just jealous because I didn't speak it at the same time, so yeah.
Alright, let's see here. Let me pull up the wheel. Alright, so whenever you're ready, Tornado.
All right, let's do this. Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it.
Please don't hit it. Please don't. Please.
Oh, and
Come
it's
on,
video
Friends
games
of Oz.
melting the brain from Nathan Thompson.
Are we gonna have opportunity to do 2 videos?
We are not limited on time tonight. Let's put it that way.
But I like
Yay?
using my
Not
brain
yay?
in video games. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's
I mean, if I really wanted to melt my brain, I'd just go outside and listen to the idiots calling themselves flat earthers.
Yeah, again, like I said, we're not limited on time tonight, but yeah, we might be limited on, if our brains melt first from the stupidity. So,
Personally, I think Nathan Thompson's just gonna pontificate on subjects which he knows nothing about.
it's quite a
Isn't that
possibility.
everything?
I don't call that a prediction. That's pretty much par for the course, isn't it?
Isn't he a flat earther?
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. I remember what happened last time.
I mean, of
I
course
lost
he
my
would think
temper.
video games would melt your brain because, of course, he's too stupid to think for himself.
Well, I mean, he doesn't even have a van down by the river, so
Oh, and on top of that, there's actually been extensive research into video games, and it turns out they actually help your brain. Huh. Who would've
And
thought?
also, so far there is no scientific evidence to suggest that violent video games or computer games have any helping hand, so to speak, in people who are violent.
Well, we've pretty much gone all over that.
Yeah,
that
we've pretty
subject
much
now. I guess we
done
can
the
podcast
video
that,
already without even watching it.
Well, the name of the video, the title of the video is How Video Games and Violent TV Kill the Brain. So,
is he still with his semi-millionaire friend there? Or?
No, this is a different friend. This is a different couch he's sleeping on.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, I guess if we are going to do this, then I guess we should get to it. Because I want to really see how NASA lies.
We should. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm just getting everything ready.
By the way, sorry for
Maybe
losing
spin
my
the wheel
temper.
again so we know what our second video is.
Nah, then it's just anticipation.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for
Excitement.
losing my temper last week, by the way.
Mm.
Or a couple weeks ago.
You're fine. We all.
That's okay. We
have
we
days.
made plans, Tornado. Take a look at that van parked outside your house.
Mm.
I wish Mom and I had a van parked outside the house. It'd be better than our crappy car.
Oh, it is. There is one. You may not be able to see it, but it's there. And people in cheap what do you call it? Yeah, polyester suits. Yeah, they're sitting in there. They have
As
back
opposed to
shades on.
expensive polyester suits?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, of
Don't-
course, I've with all the scam
Government
calls
said.
we get, I wouldn't be surprised. I got one today saying that, oh, the Social Security office has suspended your Social Security number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Considering
And
I
Social
don't.
security scammers are
Social
pathetic
Security.
and should be destroyed.
Well, and the thing is what they don't seem to get is Social Security doesn't call you about these things. They send you a
Well,
letter.
they get it. They hope that you don't get it. That's the deal.
Yeah.
And here's
They know
the
exactly
thing.
what they're doing.
I really want Mom to just let me have fun with these people, just to waste their frickin' time.
All right, so here we go. Without further ado, we are going to get to the stupid.
No more ados?
No more ados.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Oh
Damn.
no.
Oh my gosh, he's operating out of his shed.
At least he isn't.
Somebody
he isn't
should.
holding a sledgehammer this time, bouncing golf balls off of it.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah,
Here.
but he looks as scraggly as ever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
always.
you didn't get to see that video. right, Mom? Where he sits there bouncing a ping pong ball or golf ball on a sledgehammer?
Because
All
that
the
kind
best
of
science
proves something
comes
or
from
whatever.
garden sheds.
All right, here
And
we
as I
go.
remember, it's not even. He didn't
Well.
even talk about that golf. Sorry.
Here we go.
Guys, some of you know I studied the brain, but how my journey started out.
Drink. Yeah, drink.
I'm sorry, that was a spit take. That wasn't a drink.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
a
don't
pretty
even
bold statement from him.
Yeah, I don't even think we have to comment on that. I think people know what
I think
we.
that's pretty
I'm happy with moving on.
self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory. Let it go,
All right.
Tornado.
We'll continue.
I was
your
addicted
hand
to
down,
video
Tornado.
games, and I was hanging out over here at Michael's, and his kid showed up
Oh,
last night. And this
drink!
morning, one of them goes, "Hey Nate."
Yes.
He claims he was addicted to video games. I'm sorry, but if you are addicted to something, you were always an addict. You were a recovering addict, but you never stopped being an addict. So he was never addicted to video games.
Well, even better, if he was addicted to video games, that means that he spent lots and lots of time with them, which means if his premise is true, then his brain is severely damaged.
That's true. I mean, he might be right then. Maybe that's how he got to be the way he
There's also
is.
the fact that he doesn't address which video games he talks about. He just says video games in general, leaving it open to interpretation. So he could be meaning anything. Very...
I mean, he could mean Tetris.
And there's
Oh,
an issue with
that's
that.
cool.
Because Tetris is actually shown to help the brain. Oops.
And by the way, the guy in the background, if his unless he has colored his hair, and he's actually a redhead, he is totally not one of my firearms instructors in the army. So he's totally not a secret agent. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right, here we go. We'll continue. This is a 22-minute long video, so.
Oh crap!
We'll
Here
be
we
here
go.
forever.
Yep, we'll be here till next
Well,
Friday.
then let's get a move on.
Here we go.
You like video games?
did.
And I got into my 5-minute spiel about how video games cause anxiety and depression. They desensitize us to
Yes, Tornado.
Kerwa?
Citation needed.
You know,
Rumpets?
Yep. Here we go.
violence. Everything in nature is either growing or atrophying. There is no stagnant in nature. So the same thing is going on.
Yes.
Well, I think there'd be some things like Roman concrete that would beg to differ.
oh, you mean that type of concrete that, technically speaking, becomes stronger and stronger over time? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's heard of that one before?
And Chris, you have your hand up.
Yes. I was just thinking there's something called stagnant water, also known as flat earthers, because they never come up with anything new, and they don't ever give anything up. So the kind of they just stagnate. So immediately his premise is shot.
Well, I have to disagree. They were once thinking beings.
Wait a minute.
You have no proof of
did
that.
Chris? Wait a minute. Did Chris just explain how flat earthers work? They're like stagnant water.
I mean, possibly.
Or is that too deep? Or, I don't know.
And
Too deep.
Mom Nito,
that's a
you
bit-
had
yeah,
your
okay,
hand up.
Apparently, I'm philosophical.
Swamps, marshes are all stagnating water. They are all stagnant and decomposing water, no less, which in turn is what is the term? A compost heap that is refilling the nutrients in the soil. So, yes, there are stagnant things in nature, you asshole.
All right. Let's see. How do I get this thing back going again.
All right, we're
Yeah,
already
we
at
need
zero.
the counter.
Here we go. We're 36 seconds in.
With the brain and with the body, your brain and body are either growing or atrophying at any given moment.
said-
and what
Brain.
video
He said,
games
but
do
he,
and
he, am
He
I
was
the
just
only one
about
who
to say
noticed?
butt.
He said butt brain.
Yes, he
Literally.
did.
Oh, God.
Our children.
Yes, Tornado?
Yeah, I was going to say, what are we, 5?
Yes.
Moist.
Apparently he thinks our brains are growing and atrophying. The brain doesn't really atrophy, so your premise is shot. Well, unless you just... I guess it could atrophy, but then again, if you did that, you'd have to become a flat earther.
The brain absolutely does atrophy with lack of use.
It's called you
your
turn into a vegetable.
your ability to use it, yeah. But I do believe that there is actually a virus out there, a real virus that that does eat the brain.
You're
No, that
speaking
would
of.
be an amoeba.
Are you speaking of Jacob Creutzfeldt?
The name blank.
And
Yeah,
that's not
apparently
that's not a protein, or I mean a bacteria or virus based disease. That's a problem with folding proteins.
And there's also the brain-eating amoeba.
Yep.
Oh no!
All right, let's continue.
Just,
We still have a long way to go.
Wait a minute. Could I just for a second?
Yes.
I started typing it in Google. Virus that eats. I wanted to, virus that eats the brain. What comes up? Virus that eats cancer cells. I have mixed feelings about that because I know that one of the Danish medical universities, we don't have one by the way, I think, are actually working on that very thing. But still, yeah, some, quacks are, trying to say that actually exists, but nobody wants to, share it because some weird reason, by the way.
Well, there are viruses that eat bacteria.
Moving on.
With that, now that you've interrupted me, Bo, here we go.
hyper edited violent television, a lot of the movies that keep you on the edge of your seat, what they're doing is they're putting the body in a state of passive stress, and in order to cope with that passive stress, the body goes through biological changes that has a cascade of chemical reactions.
Yep.
Or
There
you could
is-
just masturbate.
There is no such thing as passive stress. That is an oxymoron. You are either stressed or you're not. You can't be passive and be stressed, because if you're passive, you're relaxed. You're in a state of not caring. Therefore, how can you be stressed if you just don't care?
I think he's equating passive radar with active radar.
I guess. Moving on.
Well, I do have to say that there is sort of an adrenaline response, but then again, that's your body that would be you getting pumped up for a particular
Yes,
action
but
sequence.
adrenaline is not stress.
I think he'd be more accurate if he said artificial stress.
I'm not really sure.
Oh.
Okay, let's continue then, shall we?
Actions that
Sure.
start being produced in the brain, such as beta endorphins, which are addictive. That's why anyone who's playing video games, they'll start out for 15, 20 minutes, and then it goes to an hour, and then all of a sudden they're playing for 2 hours, and then they're playing for 4 hours.
I've never heard of beta endorphins, so I have to look that up.
I think he just made it up.
I think so too, but I'm going to check.
Well, while you Google that,
He
we'll
also needs
continue.
to define. If he's going to say that, he needs to
didn't.
define addiction.
Yeah, he didn't make it up. It is something that actually exists.
They
It's
are
an opioid.
chasing the beta
Opioid.
endorphin high from the video games, and it's not a active high. It's a depressant high, and it makes
Drink.
people angry.
What
Yes,
the?
tornado.
Depressive high is an oxymoron.
No, that is not. People get high from central nervous system depressants, and people get high from central nervous system stimulants.
Oh, okay, never mind then. But still, I thought it was weird. But then again, with most video games that you have, generally they're not going to be depressive highs. Like, say, Doom 2016, for example. That's an active run and gun shoot 'em up sort of thing. That's not a depressive. That's stimulating. So he's wrong there. But then again, there is some sort of satisfaction from setting up a farm in Minecraft, which theoretically might be classified as depressive. A depressive high. But then there's also...
Well, the game is generally kind of depressing, don't you think? With terrible graphics and no point to it.
Which is why I mod the heck out of it.
Definitely not wrong there. It is fun, but, you know. Alright, here we go. Oh, wait, Bo's got his hand up.
Yeah. This insanely aggressive idiot, not in this particular video, but he still is, may or may not, okay, he doesn't research anything except for YouTube, but we know what that is in research, but he may be talking about major depressive disorder. Although, I don't know, I'm just actually, no, wait a minute. I just think he found some nut on the internet writing an fake article about games, blah, 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 violence, shooting, yada, yada, and he went with it.
Yada, yada.
Sean, could I get Sean's help on this? I think what Nathan is doing is...
Come on.
Sean, don't hang me out to dry.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, is he making stuff up?
Well, yeah.
Well, either that or talking out his ass again.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of that too.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
He's so confident in it.
Because passive stress, when troops come back from military war, they'll have memory loss and PTSD.
And a lot of them have to go through weeks of detraining
or years of detraining, and the reason the
Frank!
therapy exactly the
Yes,
Detraining.
Detraining, yeah. There's no such thing as detraining somebody. You either are trained or you're not trained. And
the correct term is rehabilitating.
Rehabilitation is the word you're looking for, yes. But there's no such thing as comparing passive stress to post-traumatic stress disorder.
And memory loss? Huh?
Oh no, you can have temporary memory loss from stress. That is a thing. That's why when somebody is driven crazy and goes in and attacks somebody and claims they were insane. Yeah.
No, Doorknob Head, I'm not really sure if that's the guy's house or not. It just happens to be the person whose couch Nathan is sleeping on in this video. Well, he's not sleeping on it in this video, but you know what I mean.
Oh, sure he is. That's why he's talking out his ass.
That's true. He could very well be sleep talking here. It would just sound the same. All right, here we go.
reason is because when you're in a state of passive stress, the brain shuts down in the frontal lobes because you're not thinking about memory or the states or the presidents.
You're trained to be a machine. You're trained to be a repeated, controllable machine to follow orders.
And you're reacting constantly because you...
Yes, Tornado.
I can provide a counterexample in 3 words. Kerbal Space Program. Enough said.
Alrighty.
That was 5 words. What the hell?
Have to react in war-type scenarios. So you can't control everything that happens in the video game. You can't control everything that happens in a war, too. And so when there's bullets going off 24/7 around your head, the body reacts, and what happens?
Yes.
He claims you can't control what happens in the video game. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Bullshit.
Zip it, child. My turn. When you do a video game once, no, you don't know what's going to happen, but every action you take causes a reaction. But after the first time you run through the scenario, you know what's going to happen. Therefore, you can control what is happening in the video game because you take the steps to make the game react.
Tornado.
Well, not only that, but here's the thing. When you're talking a game like Kerbal, where there are no bullets, there's only the way you set up the rocket, sure, you might not know how it flies and it might wobble around everywhere when you're first building it, but over time you start to develop a knack. And then over time you start getting perfect orbits with zero eccentricity. So yes, you can very much control what happens in a video game.
Interesting. Well, let us continue on.
Is after 6 months, a year, 2 years of that, you come home with PTSD. Now, what is happening with all the kids, and it was happening to me, is a mild form of PTSD.
Right. You're trying to get a kid the same thing that adult men are.
Drink!
Bo, you had your hand up?
Yeah. Sean would probably be the best to ask here. What do we know about this jackass? Has he any relation to the military in any way, do you think?
No.
Would he? Nah, exactly. I wasn't sure if it was, kind of alluding to it. Speaking as if he knows anything about, people coming home from the battlefield, etc.
He might have watched Rambo.
He's a lying liar who lies.
They're also gravely mistaken in limiting their discussion of PTSD to a wartime situation.
Well,
PTSD is a large group of symptoms and stimulants that cause those symptoms. A woman can be raped and have PTSD.
I was actually going to say that.
Somebody can be involved in a shooting as an innocent bystander at a burglary or a robbery or something and have PTSD.
Yeah, it's not post-military career stress disorder. It's post-traumatic stress disorder. Right. Something traumatizing happened in their life, and they are having recurring problems with that.
Correct.
Yeah. For example, last year, I can't remember how far back, but, we were talking about something that was going on in Holland, about some from, what was it, Jehovah's Witnesses, I think, where they were trying to hide sexual abuse from kids or something like that.
Yeah.
That, for example, triggered a reaction from me like crazy. I mean, I went off the rim. I had to mute and eventually go away from the live stream. I was in the panel at the time, not because I have been a victim, but because my ex-girl,
just for transparency's sake, I have no idea who the guy in the flannel shirt is, so I don't know if he's got military background or not. But as far as the question about Nathan, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nah.
Sean, what would you say Nathan's doing right now?
Fondling himself.
That's what it looks like.
Adjusting.
No, I meant what he's doing with his mouth.
Spewing bullshit.
He's a lying liar who lies who's tapping shit out his ass.
Tornado, you
not
had your
the
hand
brown
up still?
ass, but the other ass. Yeah.
He is exercising his famous.
His ass lips.
Yeah, famous.
Famous. That's lovely.
You think he's going to say that he started the first Facebook group for flurfers?
He'll probably bring
Just
up
to
questions
prop himself up.
No, I'm expecting him to say he started a Facebook page for people who are addicted to video games to become recovering addicts.
Yeah.
He's making me long for the days when he used a sledgehammer with bounce a ping pong ball.
Here we go.
Are being trained.
Exactly.
To do.
And the adult men, it's not good for them.
No.
And so if it's not good for adult men, it can't be good for little kids.
Right.
And so it increases the beta endorphins. It
Little kids? What the fuck? What age group are we talking about here all of a sudden? 5?
Yes, Tornado?
I mean,
So basically, he's saying if it's not good for this one group, it's not good for anyone else. And certain people are better equipped to handle certain stresses than other people.
I don't agree with Nathan any time, but saying PTSD is bad for one group and it's bad for another group. You're not going to find a study that correlates those that way, but it certainly is true. PTSD is not good for anyone.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not talking. I'm talking. I think he was talking about video games in general. Maybe I might be talking shit though.
And is that a mom NATO with the hand?
Anyway.
Yes, it is.
I like how he totally disregards women in this entire thing. He's like, it's not good for men, so it's not good for little kids. ¿Qué pasa?
All right, let's continue on. We have quite a bit more stupid to go.
Sensitizes them to the violence. So we have something called mirror neurons. It's how we learn. And that's if your parents kill a bear and skin the bear, you don't have to take notes if you just watch them do it. You know, no one in nature is like, take...
Drink!
Neuron deficit sets what?
Mirror neurons.
Okay, first off, just because you see your parents kill a bear does not mean that you know how to kill a bear and skin it. Just because you watch them.
I've watched plenty of people fix cars. I still don't know how to fix a car. Just saying, Nathan.
They have to, but they have to show you what to do. It's not just you instantly pick it up just because you watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. I looked up the definition of mirror neuron on Wiki, and it says it's a neuron that fires both when an animal acts and when the animal observes the same action performed by another. Thus, the neuron mirrors the behavior of the other, as though the observer were itself acting. But
notice it says animal.
We
have
such
mirror
neurons have
neurons
been directly
too,
observed in primate species. However, this doesn't mean that just because you watch someone do something, you'll be able to do it yourself. I could watch a carpenter join two pieces of wood, and I wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Basically what it's saying is, okay, this rabbit just jumped over this little creek. If another rabbit does the same thing and jumps over that same creek, the same neurons in the brain are going to fire.
Yeah.
That's it.
We have a super chat.
We do,
Chris
from our
Kelling.
very own Chris Kelling. $5 from Chris Kelling says, here's to help fund therapy for Nathan's non-existent PTSD. Yeah.
Let's move on. Oh my god.
Oh boy. I gotta be careful, otherwise somebody might say I'm misappropriating fundraiser funds. I don't know who that would be, but we won't discuss that one. Here we go.
Taking notes of their parents making a fire or any of this, we learn from that. So what we're learning from the video games is that all this violence and all this stuff is okay, and out of
Yes,
Oh my
Tornado.
god.
Absolutely not. That is a straw man, and that is a flat-out freaking lie. For example, there was a 4-year-old kid who was allowed to play Grand Theft Auto 4, and when he ended up running over someone, he almost walked away from the game. You know what he proceeded to do after he was allowed to play a second time? He proceeded to play as fire department, police, and medical. So, you're wrong, Nathan. That is a counterexample to your various things. And, for example, kids don't have to learn that violence is okay from video games. They don't learn that at all. Because you know what happens when a parent sees a kid being violent towards another? They smack that shit right out of them. Depending on whether the kid can tolerate spankings or not. But I think those things are falling out of favor.
Bo, you had your hand up? Bo?
Damn mute button. Sorry. Yeah. Most of you remember a game from the 90s called Lemmings. a game that I played. A game that I played a whole lot on both my PC, which I got later, and my Amiga. Now, let's just for one moment disregard the fact that lemmings do not jump off cliffs to their own deaths. That was that's
a falsehood by
BBC.
Disney, by the way.
Yeah, it was BBC, I think it was. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Nathan, what did I learn by playing that game? I would love to hear what you have to say about it, because I am very curious.
I loved the exploding lemmings.
Yeah. Oh no!
Yes.
And you can still play it online. There's I found a website where you can play it in your browser somewhere. A long time ago though, but I'm sure it's still up. Oh, I have to find it now. Damn it.
No digital demonic Dabra, so you cannot reach through and punch it. And please don't punch your screen. I will not be responsible for any repairs necessary for screen damage.
Or medical bills to get the
the glass out of your hand.
Moving on.
Here we go.
Chaos comes order. That is the Illuminati's plan the whole time. So if they can convince everyone...
Yes.
So,
The Illuminati.
video games are apparently being programmed by the Illuminati now.
At least he wasn't accusing the
Super chat.
Freemasons of it.
It's like...
So hold up, we have a $5 super chat from Anamorphic Mind. I'm pretty sure this one goes over to Sean. He says, just because I saw a person get hit by a train while on a horse doesn't mean I know how trains work.
Oh my god. PTSD, man. Leave me alone on that.
Yeah, we watched Sean play RDR2 the other night, and as he's riding along on the train tracks on his favorite horse, the train showed up. Let's just say
It was dark.
What is RTR?
RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
It can be a very
I still
bloody
cry for
game.
Yeah, but every single time I see the title of that game, the abbreviated version, I keep thinking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
I've got a question for everyone.
I found a free-to-play online version of Lemmings. I'll put it in the live chat.
Yes, you can do that.
I watched this one guy stream it when it first came out, and all he did was every human being he came in contact with, he killed. Yeah. It was just ghastly.
Damn you, Metamorphic Mind. Now I'm going to think about my horse all night. It took me 2 days to get over that.
I've got a question for the panel.
Yes.
Who here knows what the original purpose of the Illuminati was?
Light things up.
You're a smartass.
They drew those pictures in Bibles.
No, to build people without having to pay them. What are they called? The Freemasons. They're connected. I still can't find anyone in my area, but.
First of all, I think the Illuminati was disbanded, like in the late 17th century. So why would they be programming games anyway? Secondly,
That's just what they want you to think.
Secondly, Freemasons are just wandering stone layers, and claiming that the government is in the hands of a bunch of wandering stone layers means that it's in the hands of a bunch of wandering stone layers, and there's absolutely nothing to be concerned with. And thirdly,
Don, it's okay to share.
What would the Illuminati want with video games anyway?
To kill my horse?
A bunch of members of the Illuminati developing video games, and I imagine those same members of the Illuminati would be busy playing those video games, rendering their entire
but Tornado
organization moot.
The Illuminati literally gave me PTSD by killing my horse with a train.
They're after Sean. I mean, come on,
See?
really.
Video games killed your brain. That's it.
Moving on.
Yeah, I think we'll continue. We're still only 3.5 minutes in, so.
Oh God.
Oh, let's shut
I'm
up
gonna
for a
go
while,
all
okay?
night. Yeah.
Here we go.
One, that guns are good and violence are good and shooting people's good. Well, then what you need is more tyranny and more government. And so we're paying monthly. I mean, you were telling me you were paying $300 for the internet, TV, and security.
Holy shit, Drink!
Damn, that's expensive.
Yes, Mom NATO.
I mean, holy shit! If he's paying $300 for internet and TV
and security,
fucking like his gold ass lines.
I'll just say this:
I don't know what
security services
is.
are probably the most expensive expenditure you'll have for a monthly bill. I'm willing to bet his internet's probably $75. You know, his security's probably like $200, and then whatever else he had in there, his TV is like part of his internet package.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
well, it depends on what he means by security. If he means internet security, or he means you get
home
a free
security.
home security system and that kind of thing.
Well, my mom, when she had home security in this house, was only paying $99 a month.
Oh, jeez.
But that they were.
Would she get screwed?
Well, no, she was with ADT, and they were monitoring the house 24/7, and she had remote access and all the little shit. So,
I would imagine it also comes down to where the residence is.
Yeah,
as well?
in Florida.
Or crime rates, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, even with that, her internet and her home security only came to $150 a month. So I mean, damn, $300.
Chris
Shit.
Kelling, your hand is up.
Yeah, I'm just trying. If he must be having a pretty good job for paying $300 a month for internet, phone, TV, whatever he's got from his company, and I don't exactly think that's tobacco he's smoking either. So he's got to have something funding that, unless that's how he's paying for his internet. I don't know.
Isn't this supposedly the same guy that's independently wealthy?
No, that was a different
different one. Yeah, that was Flat Earth Millionaire or whatever the fuck he calls himself.
Well, that is no cheap garage
Tracy
door
Mike.
system, and I would suspect that this person has a very good income and can afford all that shit without thinking about it.
More likely than not. Alright, and I think that's it.
Well, actually, I do need to make a comment, because first he said, violence are good. Grammar,
Well, grammatical errors, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he plays video games. His brain has been turned to mush.
Secondly, of all the stuff he mentioned and how the guy is paying internet and such from the government, it's like, dude, unless the government is trying to be a dictatorship, well, I wouldn't put that past the current government right now, but the less said about that, the better.
Alright,
let's just say that the government isn't really going to care what you watch unless you live in a country like China or North Korea.
Alright, we are gonna move on. See if we can make it 10 seconds at least.
By 12 months, and you're looking at $3,600.
Yeah, we finally just stopped. We just shut it off at the beginning of this month, at the beginning of December.
Well, that's because you read the book of Jeremiah and you're going to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
Homeboy wants to just leave Arkansas and run into the woods and do what the book of Jeremiah says.
Yeah, read the book of Jeremiah. It's going to tell you, leave the cities and head to the wilderness. Trust me, that's what it says. It screams.
Oh, God.
Yes.
So what does the Bible say about video games?
So,
Nothing.
hold on. He says, leave the cities and go into the woods where there are, things like bears.
And he's going to have to learn to be
Spiders.
violent and teach his kids to kill.
Well, if he
Venomous
kills and skins a
snakes.
bear, his kids will know how to do it, so.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't be able to have any of the awesome medical marvels that keep you free from diseases. So if you get one little cut, you stand the chance of getting tetanus. And if you get bitten by a rabid raccoon, you might get rabies. Yeah, no thanks. I think I'll be living in a city with easy access to a hospital. Thank you very much.
If you get bitten by a rabid raccoon, I guarantee you will have rabies, but not for long. You'll die.
And Sean has his
it will
hand
eat
up.
your brain.
I would like to point out the hypocrisy of good old Nathan Thompson here, because he's promoting the passages in the book of Jeremiah where it talks about how you're supposed to live in the wilderness to be in line with God, but yet he goes from one flat earther to another all across the country just so he doesn't have to live in the wilderness.
Really?
So he's not even living up to his own Bible.
Apparently not.
Never has. Why should he start now?
Exactly.
Really?
All right, here we go.
It yells it. It says more times than I can even count it.
Yeah, it says forget Babylon.
Forget Babylon. Forget the world of confusion. That's what Babel is. Babylon. Babel, the Tower of Babel. Babylon. They confused the languages. Everything was confused.
Where people don't know up from down, and that
they don't even know the world they live in.
Yeah, if you don't even know the world you live in, how can you expect to know?
And they don't. So what do they do? Hey.
Yes.
I thought we were talking about video games rotting your brain, not Tower of Babel.
So we went from video games to war to the book of Jeremiah to literally the Babylon, and people who live in Babylon also don't know up from down and think they live on a spinning ball and all that funny jazz. And so this guy cannot stay on topic for even a minute. It's the Gish Gallop all over again.
I would bet that neither one of these little boys could survive 1 year in the wilderness.
Yeah, I have
survive a night in the wilderness.
I mean, I have more confidence in Plaid Shirt Guy than I do in Nathan Thompson, but still.
Yeah, I have new names for all of them.
Yeah, he can't even use a shower with only one shower head. So.
Yeah, well, I have new names for all of them. They're all now part of the Dinky Winky Club.
Yeah. I mean, again, to this guy's, defense, I have no idea who the hell the guy in the plaid shirt is. So he might not be completely insane, or he might be wackier than a bedbug. But
well, I do have one thing to say about Mr. Plaid Shirt Guy. He's obviously got a model of Spaceball 1.
Yeah, it's his head.
All right, here we go.
Here's this entertainment where you can just sit down in a chair, feel safe in your house, and mindlessly just move your fingers and yell and scream at the TV or computer in front of you because you got killed.
Yes, Tornado.
Kerbal Space Program. Enough said.
If you don't want to be mad at the game, turn it off and walk away.
But
go outside.
One thing I noticed when I turned the video games off is what opened up was the entire world. I mean, when you're not stuck in that cage, that X box that they put you in, of mindlessly killing people with your fingers and.
Yes.
The box that they put you in. Who is this they? How are
obviously
they
Microsoft? They put you in the Xbox.
So, Sean, I
talk about a nightmare.
What was that?
But this is also the guy who thinks the Earth is flat. So, he's living in his little box anyway. He just pushed down the sides. Because after all, everything is
think this
flat.
guy might be doing something. What's it called again?
Making stuff up.
Yep.
Talking out his ass. It's the lying liar who lies and talks out his ass lips.
Let's see what his famous has to say now.
Guys, I'll do hand-eye coordination tests with people who play lots of video games. They think that pressing buttons is training their hand-eye coordination, but it's actually not because it's mindless. It's mindless, passive stress. It's not active.
Oh, come on, Tornado.
Oh, nice pause. Look at that smug face. That is a very punchable smug face.
Yeah,
Let me look.
That's something special.
Jeez.
No, that's his O face.
I thought we.
I do
agreed to
not
stop
wish
playing
to.
that game.
I do not want to sexualize this jackass. Thank you very much.
He's already uncircumcised penis anyway.
Oh boy, here we go. We're gonna
Wearing
move on.
a cap.
We're gonna move on.
So if you put a hammer in their hand and had them manipulate a golf ball, they'd have a very hard time balancing the golf ball on top of the hammer because they have no peripheral nerve.
Hey, the golf ball now, ping pong ball.
Stop. We, because of his assery, we didn't hear the start of that asinine statement. Could you roll it back so we hear the whole piece of lard coming out of his ass lips again?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Hillel the Finder. Hey, man, long time no see.
All right, here we go.
Honestly, just move your fingers and yell and scream at the TV or computer in front of you because you got killed. If you don't want to be mad at the game, turn it off and walk away.
But
go outside.
One thing I noticed when I turned the video games off is what opened up was the entire world. I mean, when you're not stuck in that cage, that X box that they put you in of mindlessly killing people with your fingers. And guys, I'll do hand-eye coordination tests with people who play lots of video games. They think that pressing buttons is training their hand-eye coordination, but it's actually not because it's
mindless.
It's mindless passive stress. It's not active stress. So if you put a hammer in their hand and had them manipulate a golf ball, they'd have a very hard time balancing the golf ball on top of the hammer because they have no peripheral nervous system. So
and they're trained to get frustrated when they don't do.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Even a bodybuilder who lifts weights and has extreme hand-eye coordination cannot balance and bounce a golf ball on a hammer. Just because he has enough practice. It's not even hand-eye coordination, it's a matter of practice. Balancing and bouncing a golf ball on a hammer does not mean that you need hand-eye coordination to do it. You just need to practice at it. It's called a repetitive skill.
Like solving a Rubik's Cube.
Exactly.
That takes
I would
hand-eye
like to take exception to his statement that ... they don't have a peripheral nervous system. If they didn't have a peripheral nervous system, they probably wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, their arm wouldn't move.
You couldn't move your arms. You couldn't feel anything. That's a big statement.
Bo, you still had your hand up?
Delicious.
Yeah, I'm guessing he actually meant peripheral vision, from his using his eyes.
He said nervous system.
Yeah, I know, but he's an idiot. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to give him a break on that.
If that is the case, what the hell? If you wanted to try and balance a golf ball on a by the way, why the hell is he so obsessed by golf balls and sledgehammers?
Because he has no ball.
Anyway,
he's got
if you're
smashed
going
by
to do
a
that,
hammer.
Balls and
if you're
sticks.
going to do that and bounce it continuously, would you use your peripheral vision if that was what we were talking about? No, you would actually, look at it. Oh, I want to smack him so much. Oh, man.
Oh, but that would give him PTSD.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was his fee-fees. And by the way, in case you didn't notice Hillel Finder's comment there, it's perfect. Yeah, learn how to think outside the Xbox. Yeah.
Yes, he did say that, yeah.
Shit, to be honest, come on, it's shit.
Here we go.
Do good. That's how the video game gets them. So they just get mad, and it just
We're
shuts
not
down
seeing
that
the video.
system. It's hard to. You almost have to untrain them.
And
Thank
life
you.
is not a video game where you just reset with a brand new body and a brand new life and everything.
And full ammo.
And full ammo. This has to be built. The Bible says the glory of God is their strength, or the glory of young men is their strength.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, with
Live in a world of weak men.
Pressing the buttons, you'll look at little kids that play a lot of video games, and they
Okay,
are
so we're not
wire
seeing the
thin
video.
on their arms down to their
They're
hands.
getting atrophy. Their muscles are getting atrophy.
They're never even having a chance.
Yeah, drink.
Yes, tornado.
Oh yeah.
Does this guy not know that playing video games actually makes you better at surgery?
It's a proven fact, but Jess, we're not seeing the video.
Yeah.
All we're
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
you.
Thankfully, he's just yapping his ass
Yeah.
cheeks.
And Bo.
He's flapping his butt flaps.
Yeah.
No,
Now,
he's talking out his ass lips.
Now, yeah, he's talking out his ass second. Sorry.
No, his
couldn't
ass
help it.
lips.
Yeah,
ass
yeah, but I
lips.
can't
Oh,
fit that in
no.
so quickly. But
He's talking
now,
out his ass again.
this thing about kids sitting down, playing those games, pushing buttons, as he said, causes, or let's just be friendly here, can cause muscle atrophy. He is right about that. If that was the only thing they did, in their arm muscles, not the ones that actually operate the fingers, etc., etc. But they also do other stuff.
Like go outside and walk around.
Yeah, like that. And also, they're exercising their brain cells, but he wouldn't know the first thing about what those are anyway. So.
Well, yeah.
It's called atrophy. So.
Ta-da!
Called Nathan, whatever astrophy.
Yeah, astrophy.
Here we go.
To develop and grow.
And that's their physical muscles in their arms and legs.
Hey guys, relax.
Doing a video. Knock it off,
The
pups.
dogs are fighting.
Those dogs play.
But so that's the same thing that he was getting to with the brain and everything. If you stop using certain parts of your brain, you lose it. If you don't work your muscles out or you don't give them the proper exercise they need, a person that's in a coma for a year can't even walk because their muscles are atrophied. It's the same thing with your brain, your heart,
Drink.
and
Yeah.
your entire.
I'm sorry. A person in a coma isn't going to be walking because, they're in a coma. How can they walk if they're in a coma? And the only way their muscles would atrophy is if they are not exercised. And I'm sorry, I know for a fact from medical training that anybody who is in long-term coma has a constant physical therapy every single day, twice a day at least, to make sure that their muscles don't atrophy.
So his example is wrong from word go.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Surprise.
that's obvious.
I mean, this guy, his birth was wrong.
Alright,
Well, I wouldn't say his birth was wrong. I just say he got dropped one too many times.
Oh no, that's not a dropping incident. That is
Droppings incident.
no, that is what is the he's mentally retarded.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna continue on.
Our
And
body.
actually, parts of it will start shutting down
Yeah.
if you don't use it. And so what happens over time is number one cause of disability in adults is stroke. Also, when you're playing video games, you're not...
Drink.
Your brain,
Yeah,
That is not what causes disabilities in adults. It is not what causes strokes. Blood clots are what cause strokes. Aneurysms are what cause strokes. Has nothing to do with video games.
What about mini strokes? Just curious.
Mini strokes are still
Strokes are
blood clots.
pretty much an aneurysm
Okay.
situation.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just kidding.
But
Gotta
it-
learn something anyway.
Aneurysm is a blood clot in the brain.
There'll be none of that
No.
here, Bo. We don't learn things here.
So
No, an aneurysm is the enlargement of a certain portion of an artery that can lead to bursting and leaking of blood into the brain tissue, which will then cause the stroke.
okay,
Bo, you have your hand up?
I was.
Yeah, I just thought of something. Take a good hard look at ass cheek Nathan here. What do you think he is trying to say right now, as a primate, which he is, just like the rest of us?
I can't tell. We lost the video.
Yes.
Oh, he looks so well, like himself.
He's trying to go ooh
Ooh ee ooh ah. Nah, not that one.
Walla bing bang.
Ting ting walla walla bing bang.
Yeah, copyright strikes.
Walla bing bang.
Oops, sorry.
I want to get Patrick Stewart to narrate that song.
In his acting voice from Family Guy, as
Yeah.
the CIA director.
Anything will do. Ooh ee
No.
ooh ah ting tang.
Ooh, you have to put that British accent in there as well.
Oh no, I wanted to do it as Captain Picard.
I just keep
Alright.
thinking he's saying we're gonna pile shit this high.
Let's
Yeah.
continue on. We have to continue the stupid,
Gonna
unfortunately.
dig the hole out of the ship pile
damn it.
this high so we can climb out.
Brain actually drops into a daydreaming state. So if you do that for 3 to 4 hours before going to bed, the brain is not tired. So you try to go to sleep, and it's saying, "No, I'm not
brain
tired.
is
I'm not going
not
to go to
tired?
sleep." So what happens with that is they suffer from.
What?
Yes, Tornado.
The brain doesn't go to sleep when you dream. When you go to sleep, your brain, that is the point where your brain basically sorts through the memories of the day. And
It's most
some of
active
this
at night,
sorting is
I
called
believe.
dreaming. If you do it right, you can do lucid dreaming. But your brain doesn't go to sleep at all.
It most certainly does.
Well, after all, Nathan's brain has been asleep since he was born.
Oh,
What
The
brain?
the resting, sleeping state of your brain is what allows it to go into the REM and dream state.
Okay.
is that where Riley gets his name, Sleeping Warrior?
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to break in here. Now, I am certainly not a doctor. I've worked in
Okay,
lots of
that was
hospitals.
my
I have had nurses training now, although I admit to bombing out of clinicals for a variety of reasons, most having to do with human waste. What really upsets me about this is that this isn't flat Earth. Nathan isn't talking about little things about domes over the Earth and fantasy bullshit like this. This guy is right now screwing up people's knowledge about their bodies, their minds, their psychology, their physiology, how things work and how things don't work. He has no business doing that. And some of us on this panel don't have any business trying to interpret his incorrect things because they don't know either. This is just so wrong for this guy to be doing this.
It's potentially dangerous.
Such insanity for him to be dabbling about this.
I apologize for dabbling in things which I know nothing about.
Here we go. We'll continue on at least. We gotta keep things rolling.
Insomnia. People who suffer from insomnia very often suffer with depression and their body mass index. They have a hard time keeping
I don't. I mean, I didn't. So I'm certainly not
that's
one
why
of them.
I'm telling people the TV is a weapon. You need to take your TV and shoot it like with a shotgun, and then throw it out your window because it was a
dumbass.
Your TV is a weapon?
What are you going to do? Pick it up and hit somebody with it?
It's like,
Please
unless
let
you
it
drop a
be
TV
Nathan
from,
and
like,
an old
say-
CRT.
unless you drop a CRT TV from like orbit, I don't see how it could possibly be a weapon unless he's claiming it's a weapon that they, the ever ominous, nameless, and faceless they, use to control you.
Well,
I
he
wouldn't
did
be
say
surprised
that
if he
already.
said that though, then again, because think about who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here we go. We'll continue the stupid.
bad
Yay.
idea for healthy brains from the beginning. And
it was a way to control the masses when they weren't working to keep them settled down.
Yeah. And
then back to the brain. So the brain is all neural pathways, like you were saying, and if any parts of that start to shut down, then that actually shuts down a pathway to something else. So if you stop using that, and it's the pathway for other information to get you to do other things, like that's shut down.
It
and
makes
you start
you
losing
narrow-minded.
abilities.
Yeah.
Since we've shut it off, my kids have actively come out and started riding their skateboards and like walking around and like knocking on their friends' doors and like, hey, let's go play basketball at the school and all that, and they're happy. Like they've even stopped asking like, do we have internet now so we can get back on the video games? Like they can still play video games, they just can't get online, you know. But they're not as addicted to it because they know they're playing just the program itself, and it's the same thing over and over.
Yes, Mom NATO.
First off, they claim that this is that the pathways in your brain shutting down are what cause you to be narrow-minded. That's not true, and their claim is that video games are what make you violent, but yet they're talking about letting their kids play video games that it's better because they're not connected to the internet. You don't have to be connected to the internet to play a game that has violence in it.
Doom 2016, for instance.
So basically what they're saying, they're trying to claim is not the video game itself that makes it violent, but the video game being connected to the internet makes it violent. That just absolutely makes no sense.
Nothing they really say ever makes sense, so...
Yeah. Well, none of it's true either, so therein are the facts.
True.
Yeah. So it's restricted what they were doing to the point where they're like, you know what, I don't even want to play that right now. Like they're even picking up books. They were like, oh, Dad, like my son who hates to read was like, oh, Dad, I was just reading this book. I'm like, dude, that was awesome. You didn't want to play the game? No.
Impressive.
Yeah.
You know, they're picking up books.
Yeah, so it kickstarts something. Now they're actively using those parts that they weren't even using now. So they're making sure that neural pathway is not shutting down.
The Bible says kids are like clay and we can mold them. And I don't have any kids, but I used to be a kid.
Thank
Even
God.
as an adult, I was a kid and I struggled with video game addiction 6 to 8 hours a day. And the week I stopped, the whole world opened up. I realized I could start playing guitar and basketball and reading more and learning more about things. And this idea, and also, you said something interesting. When we get home, it's a way for us to just feel safe and just plug into the box. But what that does is that shuts off the creative centers in our brain. And so, as made in God's image.
Yes, Tornado.
Oh yeah, it shuts off the creative parts of our brain, so that's why some people build a frickin' Empire State Building in Minecraft. Oh, wait, but then that means the creative part of the brain isn't shut down, which means what Nathan just said is a lie. Oh no, you're talking out your ass again.
Oops, hold on, I clicked the wrong button. Hold on. See, my brain's already starting to melt.
Yeah.
Don't as long as you don't press the play from start button. We're
I should try that one.
How far are we along in this anyway?
Not far enough.
Not even halfway.
Oh God, let's all just be quiet and get it over with and not on anything because this is so stupid. It is melting my brain.
It is. I know. That's what I'm saying. All right, here we go.
We should always be creating. Like you got your anvil out here and you're smashing things away. You built this tree fort, all this stuff. You know, it does not happen by itself. Yeah. You know, one guy said, "Oh my gosh," walks up to this gardener and he says, "You and the Lord have an amazing garden here." And the gardener says, "Well, you should have seen it when God had it all to Himself." You know, and that shows that entropy will take place with all things. Yeah. But we got to reduce entropy with us and our bodies and with our family units. Our family units need to be tight.
Pause,
one thing you'll notice.
Yes.
He's saying there. That's not how entropy works. If by entropy you mean the second law of thermodynamics, then The entropy in an isolated system will always increase and can only remain the same if all processes are reversible. I think that's how it works.
I know.
Is that
Don't
correct,
know.
Sean?
He's busy pounding his keyboard
He
with an open
is.
mic.
Yeah, unfortunately, being in the same room, he doesn't have a separate mute option.
I apologize, but things are happening in the background.
Sean needs a foot pedal.
Anyway,
As a mute button. Calm down, Jen. I meant as a. Yeah.
As long as
Yeah,
it's not
Jen's
moist.
muted, unfortunately.
I didn't say nothing.
We
No?
love you,
Oh,
Jen.
wait. What's that? What's that buzzing sound? Oh well.
Here we go.
If you get Johnny playing video games for 6 months, 12 months, they become more aggressive and they don't want to listen to you and they talk back.
Bullshit.
And,
Bullshit.
And
Citation
that
needed.
Is what is the video
Yep,
games are
exactly.
breeding, is that
Tornado has
mentality
never been
of
violent
dog
after
eat
playing
dog,
video games.
Me versus you, red versus
He doesn't
blue,
yell
my
at his
team versus
games.
your team, Democrats
Uh,
versus
But
Republicans.
he's
I'm
gonna
glad
raise
you
Oh, wait a
all
minute. Drink.
Americans.
I'm glad she said after playing games. Baha. Uh-oh.
Oh no,
Uh-oh.
he yells at his games.
Who
Chris
doesn't?
Kelling, do you
Did,
have your
did,
hand up?
did he just say Red versus Blue, which is not a video game, which is a web comic by Rooster Teeth?
Yeah, back that up and let's hear that again.
Do believe that both Momnado and especially me are guilty of causing a rewinding of this. We do
Yeah.
sincerely apologize.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man, crap. I need more bleach.
Jen, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I would just like to say that as the great journalist and commentator on the media sciences, Marshall McLuhan once said that some people will be affected in some way, some of the time, with some media. To make these kinds of grandiose statements that they're making is just ridiculous.
It is.
They're trying to make one rule for everybody, and that just doesn't work. There's no truth in it whatsoever.
Is that kind of like the statement, some people will be happy all of the time, and all of the people will be happy some of the time, but not all of the people will be happy all of the time?
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
We shall continue on.
We are all in this together, so
Just one example of that, like we would be getting ready to eat dinner and tell the kids like, hey, it's dinner time, get ready to come up, and then everyone would be sitting down to eat dinner, and
hey guys,
everyone would be
Let the damn dogs
Yeah,
play.
Bo. But you have to do it correctly, Bo.
Yeah, well, it's not a drink call. Okay, sorry. Pause.
Ah, okay. Much better.
Ooh.
Unless I got
good
the
point.
voices, unless I got the voices mixed up, I'm looking at a different screen right now. I have a problem with remembering voices and faces. Did Nathan just claim that I'm in the same boat as him?
Yep.
He better not. Oh, no. Get over here. No, wait. Don't. He won't be able to get a visa for Denmark. I think he will. Oh, man. Wait a minute. We don't have a Guantanamo Bay. Never mind. I'll come over
you
and
could throw him
kick
in a
his ass.
lock. Throw him in a lock, then he'll freeze to death.
Yeah, but we don't have any lochs, if that's the correct word for it. Yeah, lochs.
Loch.
But
No
Loch
Ness.
yeah, but we do have still have some fallout shelters that haven't been either demolished or repurposed for band practice rentals.
What about
so we can
fjords?
throw him in one of those.
Could you throw him in a fjord?
Yeah, but he's not a parrot. So he can't. Nah, that was a bad segue. Sorry.
Pining for the fjords, are they?
Yeah. Hey,
Fjord?
I'm living in one or on one.
Am I pronouncing
A beautiful
it
one.
correctly?
I don't want to. What?
Fjord? Is it? It's
Well-
fjord, right?
Yeah, or in my case, in native speak, that would be fjord. But yeah,
Fjord. Okay,
fjord. Yeah.
fjord.
But fjord is the correct English pronunciation, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All designed by Slarty Bartfast, right?
Oh yeah, that's the Swedish chef's cousin, I think. The one that's actually Swedish and not Norwegian in the tone of his voice. Yeah, because the Swedish chef from the Muppets is not, speaking in voices that sounds like Swedish. It's,
Moving on.
Swedes don't go to.
Moving on, yeah.
No.
yeah, it sounds a lot more Norwegian than Swedish, is what I tried to say, but I messed that up as usual.
I think we're doing a good job of delaying the video.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
good
you, sir.
job,
Thank
but
you.
also
Much
it's a bad
appreciated.
job, so.
I guess
right.
we need to move on. Oh,
Here we go.
Can I get a video game and have them shoot you in the brain?
We'll be up in a minute because our round's almost done. Like, no, just shut it off and come up.
In 1 minute, goes into
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
and
but
then 5 minutes.
then they get
into-
mad and because you made me shut it off and I didn't get my points. Like oh, none of that counts. Like it was all a waste of time. Yeah, that's the point. It's all a waste of time.
It's
to
always
shut it
time.
off.
They're not real points.
Yeah,
You're not,
it doesn't matter in life.
You're not going to produce
Really?
any fruit. There's no apples going to.
Wow. Oh, he's in for a
Tornado.
Pulitzer Prize there. Dang.
Oh, he's calling a touchdown.
Either that or
Most of the games that I play are able to be
Possible.
paused.
Wait a minute.
There's this
He's
thing. It's called a pause function on a single-player game. You
Sorry.
wait.
save game thing. Yeah. By the way, Nathan right now is hugging his actual girlfriend.
I was gonna say that his invisible friend.
I thought he was demonstrating his position when he's on his knees.
I thought he was
Ooh.
reenacting Sean giving me a hug because I'm so short you can't even see me.
Moving on.
If he was doing that, he would have his hip in a 90-degree angle.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Pop
Hey,
out your
am I-
Xbox
am
no
I wrong?
oranges. You're not going to have a treehouse pop out of your Xbox. You're not going to have an anvil making things out of your Xbox. It literally is just a fake world that they suck everyone into, and it's like, and then
To the point where like my son was like,
Oh, he said
even
suck.
like gears them for what they want to watch. Like he wants to now, or he was watching YouTube videos of other people just sitting around playing video games and talking about playing video games. It's like he's like, Dad, when I grow up, like I want to be a YouTuber gamer. It's like, no, there's like that's pointless. Like,
No.
like when I was a kid, I said I want to be an architect.
Yes.
Some of those YouTube gamers get a lot of money.
it's really, really hard work to get
Yes,
money.
but I understand that. But he says it's worthless. But it's not. Some people actually make money off of it. Yes, it's hard to do, but any
Right.
job that you can earn money at can be hard to do. Doesn't have to be gaming. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, we're talking. But anyhow, this guy, yeah, whatever.
We'll continue on anyway.
Well, Tornado had his hand up, but
I didn't see it. Was it up still?
No,
I
I
guess
put
it's
it
not
down.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't see it, but all right, here we go.
Archaeologist, my dad said that's pointless. Like you have to go out and beg people to give you money to even work. Like, but here he is. He's gonna beg people.
Drink!
Hey, like you know,
Drink!
like help me get.
Yes.
they're claiming that he has to beg people to give him money. Okay, so what is Nathan doing begging people to sleep on their couches?
Oh, but oh yeah, and living out of his car. He lost
Yeah,
his home
really.
or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Now,
Oh.
there's that whole thing where geology, that's a science. You get paid to do that sort of shit.
No. Really?
Volcanology, Going near volcanoes, I hear that gets a lot of hazard pay.
Volcanology, yeah.
Tornado,
Wait,
you still have your
I
hand
thought.
up?
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I
there you
thought Spock was fiction.
And Jen, you have your hand up.
Okay, that was lame.
Like that one.
Jen?
Imagine how completely inflated your ego has to be to think that every anecdote you come up with is the way that the world should live. That's all.
Crypto says, so Nathan is a homeless street preacher.
Yes.
I mean, that's a nice way to put it. Much nicer than I'd give him credit for, but okay.
He's a homeless motivational speaker.
Oh, if he's a motivational speaker, then we all should just shoot ourselves in the head.
No, he's a
the gloom.
motivational street preacher. You know why? Or he's a homeless street preacher because he goes around flat smacking other people.
Yeah, he motivates people to stay away from him. That's what he's doing. Except for the flat earthers.
I guarantee that if he came around to try and flat smack me, if he were to get in my face, it's like, get out of my face before I do something I'm going to regret.
Yes, Amiga.
It would be like, you better ease up out of my face now before something bad happened to you.
Yes, I'd 6 shadow on him.
Alright, guys, I have good news. We're just at the halfway point.
Yay!
So it's what, about 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. No. Please.
Moving
So-
on.
No more.
So
No more.
we shall continue.
More advertising time, so I can just sit around and play more video games. Like it's you see what it's become. It's become a career. People, it's a true weapon.
Yeah.
Like people aren't wanting to go out and learn physical jobs, like going out and man, I'm just gonna mess around and make some
Do I
knives
sense
out of some steel
a bit of
pipe, or
jealousy
I'm
here?
just gonna go out and build my kids a tree fort. Like no one gives a shit. Like they'd rather go give their kid this box to sit down on the couch and stare at another box and move their hands around. So, and then yell at them if they get mad because they fake died.
Do the magic hand thing.
Yep. Yeah, we should be
They make good hand
Yeah.
puppeteers.
I'm not great at building
I've
with
seen
my hands.
video games that didn't
But I'm
last
good
as
at
long as this damn video.
Yeah, really.
Bo, you had your hand up?
Yeah. First of all, Chris, if you meant for us in the Zoom, Alt Y when the Zoom meeting is.
No, that
Okay, fair
wasn't.
enough. Okay,
I was quoting the Mandalorian.
fair enough. Okay, at least, and I mean, it's at least a good thing that he isn't dissing the real gamers. The PC master race.
Oh God, Nathan, put your hat back on. We don't want to see your scraggly, greasy hair.
Yeah, wow, he almost looks Swedish, except he has too much beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Moving on.
But although I will say there is one gaming console that I don't mind at all, it's actually really awesome. It's the Nintendo Wii because it activates a lot of pensioners in what do you call them? Old folks' homes, retirement homes, all across the globe. It's an awesome tool.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yes, Tornado.
Dance
Has this
Revolution.
guy ever heard of Dance Dance Revolution?
I knew he was going to say.
Dance Revolution. Oh, I only know it from, let's just say, oh, hell no, or damn, it's fluffy.
Yes, we have that.
Yes,
Somebody
it's,
gets what I mean?
Dance Dance Revolution gets your whole body moving, so you can't even sit there and say, oh, you're being trained to stare at another box. It's like, well, then I challenge you to play DDR with me. Let's see how well your little logic stands up to someone who's done some fairly good work in Dance Dance Revolution.
But no, Tornado, you not that dance thing. I mean, you have to remember the atrophy. That
Well, what
when
about
kids
the bowling
play
game?
games, yeah, all that atrophy from not moving around a lot.
Oh my God, playing the bowling game always makes my arms sore.
Yeah, that's because
the
you're not
baseball
cheating
game.
like my. That's because you're not cheating like my girlfriend used to do on the Nintendo Wii. She just flicked her wrist instead of actually doing it. You know, with playing bowling on that. Yeah, cheater.
And how fast did she get the ball to go?
I don't think you could see the
things
speed
to go
of it.
pretty fast with just the flick of a wrist. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
But good thing they found out that you should actually use that damn strap.
Yeah, definitely.
I loved watching that kind of video on YouTube.
Yeah, those were pretty good. All right, here we go.
Marketing and promoting, and I got this official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. We talk about science in there, no cursing or insults.
No.
There he goes. There it is.
Pause.
Pause.
Note. Make note of what he said. Verbatim. They talk about science. They don't talk science. They talk about science. I get everything wrong,
science-ish.
Their church of scientism. Yeah, no, they talk about science is ruining. I mean, is on their side.
So does that mean they're Scientologists?
What was that again?
Does that mean they're part of the Church of Scientology?
They might as well.
Ooh, I wonder if we could get somebody from the religion of Scientology to actually, and I'm being serious here, and ask them if there is a flat Earth nutcase
movement
issue like there is with the Christians and Muslims and other religions. Just for fun.
I'm sure they have them.
And by the way, no, wait a minute. No, never mind. Yeah, no, I'm just also at the same time wondering, for some stupid reason, why they actually have a cross on their headquarters in the U.S. on the top of their building.
Because they're sleaze bucket liars.
Oh yeah,
they're liars.
Yeah, dum 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 dum. Oh, sorry, that was yeah. No, that was.
Yes, RJ.
I'm trying here. I'm trying. Come on, guys, help me out here.
RJ has his hand up. We'll go over.
I can see the latest Michael Bay movie in 3D. You get the flat earthers and the Raelians and the Scientologists all together, and we do a Bollywood musical.
But that would. I hope you mean.
But are we going to bring in predators?
So,
loose on them?
Wait a minute. That's a movie
RJ,
without
that is a
lens
beautiful
flares.
idea.
That's a movie without lens flares, so you can't.
Well, there'll be a lot of bling in there. There will be plenty of lens flares.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we could bring in predators too and release them and watch them eat them all.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue.
Oh no, man!
I was on there for less than 24 hours.
That's something you've built, though.
Something I built, exactly. Yeah. And it was a dream in my mind that I said I'm going to start this, and it's going to be.
I had a dream.
It's not going to be mediocre.
Bo, you have your hand up.
A dream in your mind.
Has he got swirling chakra going in his head?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you have to have a mind.
Maybe he had a cranial massage.
Well, he does. He has a mindset of a stone.
Well, mindset, but maybe not mind.
Oh, wait.
No,
Yeah.
he has a mind flare.
There we go.
Yeah,
I rolled
a
D20 against
flare.
it.
Well, here,
I think that's way too deep for him.
Bo, put your hand down.
Maybe a mind flare.
Sure.
After all,
That's the
something
thing
deep
too.
in
Is
his
video
brain.
games, they turn kids into normies, mediocrity. Everyone's the same video games. Everyone, it's all the same.
It's all
Drink.
the same video game.
What is a normie?
Yeah.
I think I'm sorry to say this. I think we need to hear that again. Because that didn't. I know I'm saying something obvious here, but
No,
that
we
did not
don't
make any
need to
sense.
hear that, because whatever happens next is going to have nothing to do with that. Let's just go on.
I mean,
That's the point.
is he trying to say that playing video games makes kids special needs?
Normal?
Or normal?
Or-
I mean, oh my God, how dare kids be normal?
Yeah, that's some kind of weapon, all right. Yep.
Yes, tornado.
What the?
Yeah,
Jeez.
they're gonna claim that video games make you special needs. It's like, well, I was already special needs before I really started even playing video games. So shut up.
Hey, it's just as true as autism causes, cancer and,
Oh yeah,
autism
I like
and that kind of thing.
one.
All right.
Moving on.
It's
Let's
just as
move
true.
on. Let's move
Just as real
on.
as
Oh.
chiropractors. Sorry. Rants.
I keep you in line.
Game over and over again.
Yeah, every new game is just a remix of the last video game where you're
Black
in
Ops, Black Ops this, Black Ops that. It's the
Assassin's
same
Creed,
game.
Fortnite. It's like all the same thing, and that's the same thing with the movies too. It's like Black Hawk Down and
then
Tropic
everything's
Thunder's like
everything's demon possession and or something about fake space,
or witchcraft, or
Drink!
occultism somehow.
Fake space.
Yes, Tornado.
Of course, they decide to bring, space is fake into it. I thought this was supposed to be about video games, not a whole bunch of non sequiturs. I am now officially at F1.
And Bo, you had your hand up?
You're expecting logical coherence from this guy from his garage.
Yes. If
Really?
he's making a positive argument, then he needs to have logical coherence.
Well, let's not.
Logic, I think that's something that's not going to be next to the shovels there.
Right. Well, and let's also keep in mind that he's mentioning
us.
movies as well. When did movies get involved in this?
Well, he did say video games and TV in his description.
Well, but TV has nothing to do with movies. Movies are on a theater screen.
Television is
You can
where
also
movies
broadcast.
go to die.
They're making an
I'm
attempt
sure.
at this.
Yeah, I'm
they're
sure
making
American
an-
broadcasters broadcast movies as well in the States.
Yeah, they do. But
They're making an attempt to discuss and demean all these games and TV entertainment into one pot and boil it down as shallow, simplistic, unimportant. What they've never done is go to school in the arts and learn that there's really only about 7 basic stories that are told over and over and over again.
Yep.
Throughout human history, that's just the way it is.
Right, and books are the same way. They're touting how books are so wonderful, but everything that you've read in you can read 7 different books, 7 different types of books, and eventually you're going to find that those 7 books are repeated constantly with just different characters.
I mean, Hamlet, they're all dead at the end.
Yeah.
And Bo, you have your hand up still?
Yeah. Let's just be. I'll be completely serious just for this once.
Aww.
Talking about movies and especially computer games or video games, whatever you want to call them, and also music, as in melodies or songs, not the lyrics, the music itself. How long can we go without those different things start to become susceptible to someone coming up with a game or etc. that looks a lot like something that has already been done? Oh yeah, that's
10
already
minutes.
happening. It has been for hundreds of years. Also, there's this little thing called popularity plus customer equals money. If there is somebody comes up with a weird ass game like Angry Birds, we'll try it out. Oh, hello. Oh, look at all this money this guy is scraping in. Guess what happened when that craze, ran amok with the Angry Birds thing, the Angry Birds
It's still
games. Right?
going.
Yeah, and there was a sudden influx of competitors making their own non-copy but copy version of it to try and fish in all the cash.
Angry Birds Star Wars edition.
Yeah, but that's at least the same guy, I imagine.
Right, but that's
Candy Crush.
Yeah, but
Candy Crush.
Yeah, when you if somebody sees something, oh wait, this is the new black of all the different things you can make money of, right?
Yeah.
This is the new black. Well, that's what you make. That's what you make money out of.
Yep.
So what the beep are you going to use that beep for in this case? I mean, what are you trying to get at? That was not an invitation to play the video, by the way.
Yeah, well, I think we should, seeing as we've still got
seriousness
quite a
is-
bit of
Get over
time to
with.
go.
Moving
Get
on.
it over with, please.
Yeah, it's always got some sort of like occultism, demons, some sort of evil.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to Dallas, so if you're in Dallas, please hit me up, flatearthflyers@gmail.com. That's going to be
Texas's
a lot of
loss
fun.
is our gain.
Yeah,
And we
so
should totally
I
not
just
spam
highly
that
recommend
mail
if you're a
address.
parent and you have kids, monitor
Sign
their
up for
video
all the
game
spam.
usage. I'm talking, there's no way your kids should be playing more than an hour of video games a day, in my opinion. Personally,
No, I agree. I'm a parent.
Yeah,
I agree.
pause.
Yes, Bo.
I'm not talking specifically about the time he mentioned there, but in this very rare occasion, I can see he's already starting to hide his mouth, which is in some cases, is a sign of nervousness or a guilty kind of look. He's actually making sense here. In some cases, you can say, okay, this kid is playing way too much on his computer, etc. He needs to go out in sunlight and not be as white ass cracker like me, and actually get some sun, play with friends, create social bonds with those around them. He actually has a point which annoys me a lot, but
Well-
now I said it.
Yeah, as a parent, when Tornado was younger, I used to have to make him turn off his video games, do his homework, and
Oh, terrible.
yeah, I'm such a horrible
I know
mom for that.
I know exactly how he felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Up until like what? The 10th grade, and then
Yeah.
the homework just dropped off a fucking cliff.
Yes. But it never affected his brain. It never melted his brain. Oh my God, how dare I let my kid play video games?
Well, there's certain effects that
didn't
they
have
have.
video games, and we liked it. We liked it fine.
Moving on.
All right, here we go.
because it's addicting. It's and an X on a video game is what pops up
It's
after
a negative symbol.
after you kill someone.
Yeah.
And the X marks the spot, So when I think of an X bar, I'm thinking of death.
An X is a negative symbol? What the fuck?
Yes, Tornado.
Hey, there are multiple things that you can get when you have X's. X's could point to, like, say...
Where the treasure is buried.
Yeah, where the treasure is buried. So sometimes it's a positive symbol, you nitwit.
An X is where you put a marker because you want to remember where that place is. Oh my God, it's a negative thing to want to remember something. Oh!
Was
And-
2x2 or
No.
2 times 2?
And Wolverine.
Tempo. Dum, dum, dum.
And Bo, you had your hand up?
Yeah, since Jared is not here, I'll use his signature move. Drink! What all the others said.
Yeah.
I've got nothing more.
Can we just say, wrong, 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 wrong,
We can say moving on.
Someone's prefrontal lobes, their creativity, their energy levels, their good sleep, their body mass index. It literally kills you from top to bottom, head to toe, and everything in between the ears.
Oh no, he's pointing at something he hasn't.
So, video games can mess with your body mass index now? Directly?
Gee, Wii Sports.
That atrophy thing again.
Yeah,
So and for that matter, Dance Revolution. So
perhaps
again,
there's this
once
game
again, he's
you have-
actually correct. He's actually
perhaps
correct
there's
again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What about VR games where you have to get up and move? Yeah. Wrong.
And I have to
Wrong,
remember
wrong,
what I
wrong,
said
wrong.
earlier too. The Nintendo Wii game console I mentioned earlier on in retirement homes across the globe, or plane, or whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, right. Not only does it, that's even better. Not only does that keep them physically active, but it sure as hell keeps their brains going. It is a scientific fact, as much as you can make it, that keeping your brain occupied as you get older, for example, playing chess or reading or whatever, actually helps you live longer and not lose your smarts. But then again, Nathan wouldn't know anything about that because self-explanatory.
Ugly German truth. He's actually being quiet today. There's like by tornado pelt in inside voice. He's actually being quiet. So
unglaublich, ne?
Yeah.
Es ist ganz toll. Ja. Großartig.
He hasn't yelled much at all.
And Jen, you have
that was not an invite.
A while back, a few years back, the United States Army had this software package that you could download and play for free, where they had
American Soldier.
Yep,
That's
and
the game.
do all kinds of like basic training things, because they found, and they said it publicly, that people who play video games had certain skills that they were looking for.
And also remember the what do you call it, plaid shirt guy? He mentioned one of the things he mentioned. Oh yeah, blah blah blah. Fighting games and full ammo. That game that Jen just talked about, it actually I don't even think you can turn it off, even if you have I don't even think there's cheat codes for it. I played that game a lot back then. You had to actually reload and stuff, And also just before. Sorry.
Excuse me. They also like to recruit people who play a lot of the flight simulator games to work in the Predator drone programs.
And
because they find that those people are excellent pilots.
Yep.
Yeah, damn it, Jen! I should have busted, because that was exactly what I was going to mention. Damn it. Yeah.
Jen, would that mean that I might be potentially available because I play a lot of Kerbal Space Program?
No, not you.
Who doesn't? Those who are old enough not to be demeaning, doesn't remember the first couple of versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator, where you can actually you could actually use the the joysticks, the pedals, and all that stuff.
Yep.
I know it's still out. I think they somewhat recently published a new version of it too.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can still
love
use
that
the
thing.
pedals and everything else like that too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that thing as well. Probably still
some
have it
people
somewhere.
have actually built 737 cockpit replicas and
Oh yeah, that's
fly
true.
it
Yeah.
like a 737 in their garage. I mean, it's like,
Mine
Yeah,
could
they'll
be a
have, like,
737 model though this time.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder if it's also Microsoft Flight Simulator that is being used in those games I've started seeing on YouTube where they play. They don't necessarily. Well, some people fly the planes as if it was real without cheating, and then there's people that likes to play as if they work as ATC, air traffic controllers. Is that also Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Yes.
Yes.
There's an online community, and if you ever want just a rip roaring good time, to track down some of their YouTube videos where people are doing stuff like flying the space shuttle, taking off and landing with it at an
Air Force
airport,
Proud
and
95.
all
And-
kinds
and
of
that-
really crazy stuff. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. Some of these guys.
Landing Airbus A380s on United States aircraft carriers.
Sure.
Air Force
Yeah,
Proud
which is
95.
ridiculous.
Welcome to
And
Hurricane
just-
Matthew. Let's see some landing.
And just for the hell of it, the biggest ever airplane landing and taking off successfully on a United States aircraft carrier is, who can guess?
C-141?
Is still in use? Nope.
Starlifter. No?
No. Hercules. Hercules.
C-130.
The C-130s, yeah, they had to use JATO rockets, but they actually made it. They used USS Forrestal. They used the USS Forrestal to do those tests, but they found out it wasn't really viable. But it did work. Forrestal,
Are you sure that the 141s aren't bigger?
Let's see. What are they called exactly again? Let me check.
C-141 Starlifter.
Hold your head up.
Hey guys, I love you guys, but we're gonna move on.
No, not that video again.
Oh yes.
We're digressing.
Yes. Here we go.
So I just wanted to make a video from an ex-video game addict. I used to play 6 to 8 hours a day. There was one point where I couldn't get my life together. My dad looks at me and goes, "Nate, you can live in our
what
house.
made you think you
just
got
have
it
to stop
together
playing
now?"
video games all day." And this is what I thought in my head. I thought, how do people survive without playing video games? Because one, I was a globehead, and I just thought reality was so boring. Like the world was just so boring. The Matrix was so boring.
Because there's nothing you could do about it.
So I just wanted to escape.
Yes, Tornado.
He just said the Matrix. Of course, because the whole globe Earth thing has got to be you're in the Matrix, and the only way you can get out is by saying the Earth is flat. And if you look into the flat Earth honestly and decide that it doesn't work, you're insert ad hominem here. That just doesn't work. And yeah, reality is kind of boring. So maybe that's why we look for ways to have fun. Did you ever think of that? Like, say, I'm just a no-name kid from Florida, and I'm probably never going to be able to operate my own true space program, but that doesn't stop me from doing crazy, insane, awesome stuff in Kerbal space program and getting a perfect geostationary orbit with 0 meters per second deviation off the equator and 0 eccentricity.
And RJ has his hand up.
Yeah, just as a historical perspective here about how far this conniption fit's gone back. Back in the Middle Ages, the church would be trying to discourage people from playing chess because too often they were doing it on front of the church steps and gambling. So basically, the puritanical instinct, as H.L. Mencken once said, is that they can't stand the idea that somewhere somebody is enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it preemptively here.
Yes.
I fear that I will, in some degree, not fully, agree with him yet again. But it depends on how he. Hang on. But it depends on how he finishes his what he's saying here before we muted.
All right, let's continue and find out.
Let's see if I want to, wash my mouth with bleach again.
The Matrix, but what I'm saying is there are way better ways to escape the Matrix than
reality is way better.
Reality is a better place to live, and they want us in a fake reality, building fake things, getting fake points, while they just pull the rug out from everyone.
And they tell you stuff like the box.
Yes, Bo.
Yeah. Did you catch it? What he's saying right there, although he's spewing his nonsense while doing it and trying to promote his view of the non-existent flat plane, he is actually saying that it's not a good thing for kids or adults, for that matter, to spend all their time playing computer games or video games. They should get out in reality as well. Again, I do agree with him again. That tastes horrible. I think I just threw up in my mouth.
It'll only be temporary with him saying something that you can agree with.
Yeah.
But it has happened an eerie
remarkable amount of times this video. Let's see how many more.
Yeah.
And tornado.
Tornado?
Tornado?
That's like that's a tomato in a tornado. Sorry.
Let's see if we can
Alright,
come up with the movie titles
just
of
so
that.
you know, he said they want us to live in a fake reality. Yeah, they want us to live in a fake reality that makes actual testable predictions, and where said predictions always play out the way they've been predicted to be, where the orbits of the planets can be described in such precision that we can discover new ones about only 1 degree off from where they're predicted to be. It's almost as if the model has predictive power. Who would have thought?
All right, let's see if we can finish
this
up.
horrible
Bible
crap.
fake, and then next thing you know, you're going to bookstores buying fantasy books.
Yeah,
Like
by
when-
Bill Nye
when
and
the-
Neil deGrasse
right.
about fake space.
When the Bible is reality, like it's telling you everything that's going to happen. It's telling you that, you know.
Yes.
Wrong. Oh, I forgot something. Hang on. I need to press a button here. Wrong.
Hey, thank you.
You're wrong.
Did you get the reverb there?
You're
did.
wrong.
Sorry. Temptation. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, Tornado.
I could go into a long spiel
we
about
won't.
how the flood is just completely and utterly and totally impossible. Least of all being the methods required to get the water onto the planet, and what would happen afterwards, where the land would never be seen again, and what would happen with the boat in case someone decided to light an oil lamp in a hydrogen sulfide filled ark. By the way, hydrogen sulfide is flammable and explosive, as well as something that messes with cells' ability to use oxygen. So the moment someone lights a match in that ark, you can imagine what happens to a World War II ship who's just had its ammo magazine hit.
Woof.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think they
So
had matches
you
back then.
making an assertion of the Bible, and then saying, and then using the Bible to prove that assertion is circular reasoning.
And Mom Nato, you have your hand up?
Okay. Even being a Christian, I know that the Bible was written by man. Therefore, the Bible is man's interpretation of what we think God is. So, therefore, technically, it is a fantasy novel because we have no proven facts to prove that it is reality. It is an interpretation.
Yeah.
And I mean, most people would say, how can I still be a Christian and say that? Because, simply put, man is fallible.
Hey, everybody in the world, did you notice that? A Christian, she's honest. Hello.
And
Yes, I know
then,
that's
Bo, you still
so
have your hand up?
Yeah. Okay, I know it's too early, but just can't resist doing this. Cat lovers, you might want to cover your ears here. How do you make a cat sound
Yes,
very much
yeah.
like a dog?
Pat its ass.
Nope. Pour acetone over it, wait a couple of seconds, and light it up.
Oh, no!
Oh my god.
I was really, tripping like a kid that really wants that ice cream. I really wanted to say that.
Bo.
Oh, you owe me ice cream for that one.
Bo needs
Only
to buy
if
the
it's
whole class
pistachio,
ice
because
cream
that's
for
the
that
right
one.
Hey, every single time I get offered licorice flavored ice cream, you can have it. Yeah, exactly. You can have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Alright,
bacon
here,
flavored. That's one thing I don't want. I tasted it.
Moving on.
here we go.
Even about the flood, it tells you about the second coming with fire.
Yeah, it's even better than one book. It's 66 books
Yeah.
by 40
It's
different
one
authors.
book,
One of them starts with a
Drink.
J.
It is one book. One.
It is.
If you really want to spread it, okay, fair enough. It's two books. The old and the wait a minute. No, those kind of people, they don't really want the Old Testament. Oh yeah, never mind. One book.
It's one book with many chapters and many.
I give you 15, 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Well, which of the three versions are you referring to?
They're also not mentioning the missing books that, as the Bible was.
That the Council of Nicene didn't agree on. Yes.
Right.
Continue
So-
on.
I thought you meant the Dead Sea Scrolls thing.
Well, that's also that. There are multiple chapters in the Bible that were deleted each time they rewrote the book.
Yeah. Here's a serious question.
Then there's the translation from the Aramaic, and then there's all the other stuff too. So.
Exactly.
And Revelations was made up out of whole cloth. It's a complete fabrication by human beings
Oh,
because they needed
Jesus.
something to tie it all together at the end.
Yes.
How many other puns are you going to throw in there?
I actually have a serious question there.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's if it is a lie / conspiracy theory that's actually real or not. But I remember reading an article once about how some parts of the Bible, at least, were removed completely. Some parts added, some parts edited heavily by the Romans in order to control people. But it said that it is a forgery. That it's a fake thing or a conspiracy theory.
Well,
Very true.
It's not so much that it was taken out; it was never put in. They're determining what was holy, actual inspired holy scripture versus someone who's just wanting to throw in their weird ideas. There's a whole story about the birth of Christ that I won't go into here. That is just
for example, that the so-called Virgin Mary wasn't actually virgin because it is just an incorrect translation of a young maiden. In other words, just a young woman, for example.
And another thing they don't talk about is Adam supposedly had a first wife named Lilith, and she is no longer mentioned in the Bible.
Well, you can't have more than one wife unless the woman dies.
Right, but no, Lilith didn't die.
Can we stop talking about the Bible?
Bo, you still have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm drying my nail polish.
Cool.
Let's move on.
Anyway, then we'll
You think
continue.
I'm kidding?
His name's Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah.
And Jeremiah wrote the book of Lamentations.
I thought it was a
And
bullfrog.
so it's almost like
So did I.
5 extra chapters to the book of Jeremiah.
was
So Lamentations should be read after Jeremiah, and then maybe even Revelations, because they kind of flow into each
I've
other.
had times where I was that gung-ho about Daniel and just going, oh my God, there's so much prophecy in Daniel. It's insane. And then I'd read Isaiah and Ezekiel and just think,
Can we skip
wow,
this?
there's foreshadowing
Yeah,
the
please.
son that's coming.
Why haven't he mentioned the book of
I
Psalms
read it
yet?
several times in the Old Testament. Like, he clearly mentions his son. He mentions it in the book of...
All right, here's how we're going to do it, guys. We're going to tell them that all the
don't know what
people up
happened.
top are enemies of God and they worship Satan. All right, we'll do that. We'll just say that. Is
Say that
Pause.
he
was
came back to life. And then
Yes.
Pause. Who here remembers Peanuts?
Of course,
Charlie
Charles
Brown?
Schultz, yeah.
No, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Could we just mute this audio and then
Put in
insert
the music?
the voice insert the
teacher.
voice of Charlie Brown's teacher
Teacher.
instead?
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just kind of
Make more
trying
sense.
to skip a few seconds ahead at a time here.
Yeah. Skip.
we're going to say he just sat down and ate with people. And then again, 2,000 years ago, and everyone reading it is like, the whole world. These guys think the whole world.
9/11.
The whole world
The
saw
most
it.
televised events in history.
What?
So
They can do it.
Okay,
everyone
he
has
needs
that
to
image
turn
burned
down
in
the
their head of
LSD.
that plane going
Yeah.
boom into the thing.
The
They played
hologram
it.
of the plane.
My man. the
my
hologram
God.
of the plane, you know?
I'm gonna have to-
And
I
jet
think
fuel
I
doesn't melt
might
steel
have to
beams,
mute
and airplanes
this.
don't even use jet
Now
fuel.
my ankle-
Just step away.
In airplane wings
Step
that
away,
are this
tornado.
thin. I mean, this
Smile away, boys.
this common
Just
sense
step
stuff. You
away.
look at side swipes of the fuselage. There are no compartments. B and shoot the trigger button.
Our kids will never know the nature of their reality if they just sit and stare at the TV, moving their fingers.
Also, I noticed
Drink,
when I got
drink,
on the brain
drink.
screen, my eyesight.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Bo?
was first. I was quicker than Tornado this time. Woo. Okay, I know it wasn't Nathan asked for lips Thompson here that said it, and this comes out of a flat earther. But unfortunately, I don't know if this guy is a flat earther. Probably, because who in their right minds would be associated, let alone be a friend of Nathan Thompson? Although I don't know him personally, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tornado.
First of all, Nathan and Jeremiah, you know, there's this thing you can do. It's called science. It's called using tools to determine where you live. And
Science.
every single experiment that we could possibly do show us that the Earth is actually the great sphere we all take it for. No. Also, I'm gonna have to deal with something. I'll be right back. It's called the little boy's room.
We
Oh,
don't
not
need to-
screaming. Screaming.
TMI.
And alright. And we have nobody else with their hand up. Let's lower that hand.
Angry keyboard.
I know.
Much better. Now, watching a TV screen or watching TV is not doing anything
That's
for your
polluted
eyeballs.
light. That's polluted light. That's degrading your body's cells that it's trying to reproduce.
Oh,
And everything's either growing or atrophying. So if you're not training your eyesight with
How many times are you gonna say the same thing?
watching
Stop
what your hands are
using
doing,
first
banging on
generation
that,
CR.
making sure you don't hit your hands and stuff.
You got to make sure those
Those
fine
were
details
practically
are
X-ray
right.
machines.
Exactly, and that is what's gonna. That's why all these guys, man, you end up with some man hands, you know. This guy, and he was telling me about his dad. Your dad could take the end of a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and he
just
could
lift
just
it
pick it up
straight
Here he
just
up.
with
goes
his
with his
wrist.
hammers
He
again.
could lift it up and just touch his nose
And
without
touch his
smashing
nose.
his
Well, that's
face with
'cause
his
he-
arm
he-
fully.
The amount of
Oh,
strength
never
that
mind.
takes.
Like we tried
He
it.
said
like,
he's
we
trying to
would-
compensate for
we'd have to
something.
grab way
Yeah.
down on the handle. He'd grab it at the very end.
Again,
I
he
know.
is a dinky
And we're not
winky.
weak dudes,
No,
you know.
no,
I'm not a
it's
weak
just-
guy, so.
But he had trained his body to do that.
I mean, after all, that he's part of the
'cause
Trump fan
we were
club.
doing the
so-
hammers, and then I was like, my dad could
I'm
do
back.
the hammer.
It doesn't happen overnight,
No,
you know.
you gotta train your body to do that.
Hey,
stuff.
easy guys, easy.
Yeah.
They're getting it. Ow.
I will never
All right,
listen
so,
to Nathan
that's a quick
Thompson
video I
the
just
same
wanted
way
to make.
again. Thanks, Mom.
So anyway, we'll yeah, that's about the end of his video clip there.
What was that, Bo? You'll never watch his video. What?
No, I will never watch Nathan Thompson or listen to his voice thinking the same way again. Thanks to you.
All right. So that brings us to the end of our first video. We're only 2 hours in, and we watched a 20-minute video. So
That's not too bad.
Hey, we're starting to get back on track.
Hey, Tornado didn't once go up to F2, so that's good.
yeah, I mean that's a plus. You know, we're making progress.
Don't poke the bear.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean is angry typing again over there.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta hit him.
Or something. Oh. Only ugly German truths and Factard understands that one. Sorry.
And all right, so let's see what the live chat and the panel thinks. Do we spin the wheel again, or do we call it a night?
We know what
I'm
the
all for
42.
another one.
Yeah, otherwise, I have to go out and shovel snow.
Christner, you are spot on. Nathan is hereby officially the new the new Karen of Flat Earthers.
Well,
Who
didn't
was
he
that?
go into Target and tear up a book or something like that?
No, that was the other Nathan, I think.
Nathan Roberts? No.
Let's spin the wheel again.
All right. Well, I'll tell you our other two videos
what's
on
left?
the wheel. We have the fake ISS video, and then we have the NASA lying video. Yeah, it looks like
and
we'll
having the
we'll
fake
definitely
ISS video up there long
spin the
enough.
Wheel
wheel.
of misfortune. Turn,
Hold
turn,
on,
turn.
I don't have it ready. Hold on.
Running, ride.
Hold on. Damn tabs. Multiple tabs. Alright,
Yeah.
go ahead, Tornado.
Wheel of misfortune. Turn, turn, turn. What's the next stupid that we should burn? Spinning.
Alright,
Oh,
well,
Don't
it's,
land there, don't land there.
How come we
it's
can't see
NASA
it?
Lies. Oh, I don't know, because...
All right.
course.
Gedei
That's a lie.
und Überleben. Du verdammtes Stück Scheiß.
But they have to. But it has
50
to.
million a day. 50 million a day.
Survive.
So that was the Mr. Thrive and Survive, so...
That's still not his name.
Don't tell
It's
Sean that.
Lion Connive.
Yeah, Mr. Lie and Connive.
I noticed people have started calling Nathan ass lips.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bo.
Praise for him.
Welcome.
I came up
Okay.
with that.
Yeah, movie title, segues in the chat. Go. keep them titles running, right?
Give me 1 second. Let me cue up the stupid here. Hold on one second.
Avatar.
Don't we have any videos that are about sex?
Not them lying. Not them lying.
Well, we have
That
the
was-
soccer videos.
Actually, maybe we should legitimately start trying to find videos of subjects we have never touched before.
That might be a
broaden our
hard one.
perspective.
I mean, there's...
Yeah,
I don't think
but
there's
still,
any
hey,
subjects that we haven't
Sovereignty.
touched.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sovereign
God.
citizens. There's also.
Can we get a rock denier? We'll get Stephen Bauman in here.
Now, one thing I would say to what Chris just suggested there, yeah, I would love to do one of those sovereign citizen / freemen of the land, as they're called in England or affiliated countries. One thing we should be careful of is what are they called? No, I can't remember. What the hell? Oh yeah, quotes Moorish unquote nationals, which aren't actually Moorish. You know, the weird ass idiots, and they happen to be black people because some idiots decided to claim that. And here it
Blacks
comes.
were Moors.
That black people did not originally come from Africa, as slaves and all that stuff. No. They are actually Moorish nationals, and Morocco
Oh my
is
God.
North America, and I will repeat that. North America, the whole of North America is holy crap, Morocco. So all the land belonged to them. Yeah. You ask Marble Girl if you are curious as to what I'm talking about. Marble Girl is currently in the chat.
Yeah.
She's connected. So if you want weirdo videos of that, she can bring them.
Well, the thing is we have a lot of people in Pasco County, Florida, that use the excuse of being sovereign citizens when they get pulled over for live PD.
Oh, by the way, sovereign
Hysterical.
citizen. Isn't sovereign citizen an oxymoron? Is it really?
Well, see, one of the things they claim is if they get pulled over while driving, is that
I'm not
they
driving.
weren't
Traveling.
driving, they were traveling.
I'm traveling in my automobile / vessel.
Now, of course, if I were to ever have to deal with the police and Mom was out getting gas, I would say, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. And then I would add on to that, my mom's doing the driving.
Yeah, they constantly misrepresent what the I can't remember which of the amendments it is, but they keep saying that the the U.S. Constitution, or at least one of the
no,
amendments.
they don't
You're
quote
going
the
to be
Constitution.
deported or sold. Oh my God.
they quote the Articles of Confederation,
Yeah,
which
that
is,
too.
is the precursor to the Constitution, that were disbanded because they never worked.
Yeah,
So-
some of them
If anyone starts
do.
to hear me swear, if anyone starts to hear German, then that's a pretty good sign that I'm starting to reach EF3
Fictisch.
plus.
Oh, fictisch. Yeah. Now, I know that some people use the blah blah blah. Yeah, that confederation stuff there. But some people use the Magna Carta, which happens to be British, of course. But
Right.
yeah, some people do use the U.S. Constitution, and they say that, and this quote is absolutely correct, but of course cherry picking, that the government shall not encumber, I think the word is, shall not impede a citizen's right to travel. But
Right.
if you read on, travel between states.
Right.
That's what it actually says, down to a shrivel of the text it's alone.
In other words, you
Now-
don't have to pay an entrance fee or anything like that. That's the,
Right.
Yeah.
the whole thing is
And,
about. Yeah.
and that's coming from a Scandinavian who has been in the U.S. Yes, but I have never read the Constitution itself. But I know that fact. But hey, these people are cuckoo.
All right. Well, I got our next
So-
video queued up. Are we all
Let's do
semi
it.
ready
I'm
for
all
the
strapped
stupid?
in.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen
boy.
to this Dummkopf.
Yeah, about as ready as we'll ever be.
Schweinhund Dummkopf. Duh. Scheiße.
I'm
It's
studying the wrong
it's
language here.
Yeah. Es will uns
Scheiße
töten. Shithead? Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Here we go.
Not you, Bo.
Oh, okay, cool.
The
You're
moron.
free to share a copy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. Mr. Live. Yeah. Oh,
Hello,
pause.
everyone. Riskless for Thrive and
is it
Survive. It
only
is
me?
December 29th, 2019. And wanted to do a little video here and compare what we see here on the left, which is the moon. I think it's pronounced EO. That's what I'm going to call it. If that's wrong, I apologize.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Io.
The proper
Yeah, Io.
pronunciation of that moon's
Io.
name is Io.
Is it, may I? Just shortly?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Lie and Connive's logo. That tree there, is it just me, or does it look a whole lot like a specific organ from a woman?
In Oregon?
No.
What?
In all sincerity, yeah. I think it's the tree of life or something, or the tree of Eden, maybe. I don't know, but
What tree are you referring to?
Bo, what did
What
you
are you
just say, Bo?
talking about?
yeah, just move the video back 2 seconds or something. You can see it. It looks very much like the uterus of a woman, with let's see the.
Well, many
I can't
organic
remember the
things
words.
do.
Yeah, and I was just what I'm sincerely thinking is, I wonder where he found that from. You know, is it the Book of Enoch, or
Songs
is
of
it just?
Solomon?
Yeah, you know, is it just some something that he found, whether it be Christian or not Christian, doesn't matter.
Hey,
Where did he find it?
We're 20 seconds into the video.
Bo, what the hell are you
see.
talking about?
I don't know either.
It's at the very beginning.
The graphics, no, the logo he uses for his channel.
Oh.
Oh.
It's sorry, it's not important for this ass
Moving on.
video.
No, it's
Anyway, here we go.
I'm the curious kind of guy, you know.
The moon. I think it's pronounced EO. That's what I'm going to call it. If that's wrong, I apologize. EO, which is around Jupiter, and our moon, which is
Io.
around the Earth, right? So we're going to do a little comparison of this, and we're going to show you how NASA either lies about the moon, or it lies about EO, or what I think it
God.
lies about.
Oh, this
no,
will be
no
good.
drink. He hasn't
Yeah,
said
this should
anything
be
drink
good.
about this.
This
Yeah.
will be good.
Just let him go.
We'll wait.
No, he's
Now this is the first
Let it go,
video
let it go,
where I'm not live. I'm going to be doing adding many to many of my videos at the end. Just a quick, I'm going to call it a food for thought series. Just a little something. Today's going to be very short. Some of them may be in more detail. The last one I did, I started it on my my last live video where I was talking about It's a Wonderful Life movie and its hidden meaning.
dear.
So with that being said, in the lower right hand corner I will have the timestamp where this will begin, and it's going to be called FFT, Food for Thought. So that if you want to end the video at that point, or if you just want to skip and get to that point, you can. So let's get into this and see how NASA
Pause,
catches itself lying.
See how stupid you can be.
Pause,
Yes,
please.
Jen.
Why can't these assholes make a proper title card? I mean, look at that. Everything is off center. He cuts off half of those moon items that he's got there. It's like, how freaking amateur are these people that they can't even look at that and say, that's not balanced,
Flurfers.
that's not right.
They're not Jaren.
Yeah, exactly. They could at least, make an effort like jism or spirit. No, I can't say it. Spirit. That last word there. They can at least make the effort.
Yeah. All right, let's
But
go.
no.
Take some
Well,
pride in your
I'd
stupidity.
like to thank my
The
friend
graphics
Charles in
ability
San
is
Diego who sent me
absolutely
this.
horrendous.
Death Star.
Jen, you still had your hand up?
No, I just haven't lowered it.
Then yes.
At least we know where you're. What's that
Anyway.
vibration thing?
Picture. If he hadn't sent me this picture, I would have never gone down this path. Anyway, he sent this to me on my phone. I took a look at it, and just immediately, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, what is wrong with this picture? Something is not right. So, this is what we're actually going to look at. What you're seeing is
I hadn't
Simply
said it.
asserting that something doesn't look right with it doesn't mean that something doesn't look right with it. Here's the thing about
shadow.
photos from NASA. They're not the only space agency out there, so stop treating them like they are, first of all. And second of all, if NASA tells you that if NASA has a composite image on their site, they're gonna tell you it's a composite image. You see,
Yeah, or
NASA
artist
is
rendition, or
NASA has
Or
this
we could just
unique
let it
quality
play and
about it
see what
that's-
he's actually going to say.
this is a shadow.
Hold on. Audio issues. Please hold.
yeah, your audio is choppy as well on mine.
Oh, not again.
Scheiße. I think Lion Connive tortured.
Filter
OBS.
video.
Also, Doomkopf rated sign aus aus.
Your audio is fine. How about JC's?
Yeah, we should be better now.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, every once in a while, voice meter needs to be rebooted. It lets me know by doing that.
Jeez. You need a physical mixer. Hints. No, you can't
yeah.
use that. Sorry, my bad.
I need a chair first.
Yeah, that doesn't need a that doesn't need its own WD-40 fund.
Yeah. All right. I think we're back in
No,
business.
Mom NATO just had a very serious talk with him about his noise levels, ugly German truths.
All right. Here we go. I think we're back in business now. All right.
Oh, but the video audio is very low now.
It's not playing.
That's a blessing.
Yes, really.
It was
Of EO.
from
Not for
there
me.
you go.
Io.
All right. Here we go.
On the planet Jupiter, which obviously under the shadow is a total eclipse, just like we had in North America here in, a couple years ago. What was it, 2017? So what we're going to do is we're going to see what is wrong with this picture. Go ahead and pause it if you want. There's more than one thing wrong with this picture, and I'll point out a couple of them. First of all, if the shadow is here, then the sun must be direct.
Wait, does he tell you to pause it and then continue to go on and explain it?
Yeah.
Well,
How
I
are
like
you
the
supposed
fact
to
that he.
pause it and then hear him explain it?
Yeah, really.
Well,
Well,
hey-
I like the fact that he can't even remember that the total eclipse was in 2016.
17,
Always in
217, late August.
August 21st.
Okay,
Remember,
I was wrong.
my
then.
dad came over to visit.
Yes.
on that day?
Okay.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
worry.
Remember, I filmed it, or I set up a huge
Okay,
gathering.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Bo, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I feel ridiculously charitable here. Two things. One, he may just be using the same tactic as, for example, kids programs where they say, okay, here's a puddle or a riddle. See, do you think you can figure it out? Pause the video and then write down the answer, and then you can
maybe
press play again, and people can find out for themselves. I'm thinking he isn't. The other thing is, maybe we should turn the squelch up on his assery, so that we only say drink when he actually says something that's not just a small detail. Even though that would probably be everything, because he's an idiot and he doesn't really have anything to say. Or am I catching too much? What am I?
You're thinking too hard.
Yeah. Or.
Thank you, Bo. Alrighty,
I'll use my hand for something else.
Yeah, please don't. Don't pull a Riley.
Directly above it, but Jupiter is brighter on the right side than it is here. But that's not what we're going to be looking at right now. We're going to be looking at
drink over
something.
that.
Yeah, Sean.
Okay.
Well, let's not consider the fact that you have white clouds versus red clouds.
Yeah. Tornado.
Yeah. Also, let's not consider the actual little bit of darkening you see on the right side of Jupiter in this image. It's almost as if he deliberately left out that detail.
And the shadow that he's trying to point out could be equally cast if the sun and moon he has drawn there were, say, on the other side of it as well. This is so arbitrary, it's not funny.
It's an ellipse. The shadow is an ellipse, so the sun isn't coming straight down on it.
Or the sun is an ellipse.
Or the camera was at such an angle that it makes it appear to be an ellipse.
Or
I
we're
think he's
moving
leaving
on.
out some information.
Or, and this is the most likely one, Sean.
He's making stuff up.
There you go.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Much more important to us here on Earth. So what I'd like to do is compare Jupiter's moon Io to Earth's moon. Its size and its relative distance from the planet itself. Let's take a look. Okay, this is the meat of the presentation here. Pay attention to this part. The following can be found at space-facts.com, and then / the moon for the moon, and then / moons / EO / for EO moon facts. This is for people who can do all kind of research to debunk you until you come up with something that debunks them. Then suddenly they can't do any research. You didn't provide a link. Anyway, this is for those people.
Oh, they didn't provide a
So,
YouTube link?
let's look at the diameter of the moon, and we're going to compare the diameter of the moon to that of Io. This is in kilometers, so we're just going to stick with kilometer. And it's 3,475 kilometers away from the Earth on average. And we're going to get into the distance from the Earth in a minute, but here's Io, 3,000.
Yes, Mom Nita?
He said he actually claimed, if you back it up, he says 3,000 whatever kilometers from the Earth.
We'll let that slide as a misspeak. Well, he just is too stupid to realize what he's actually saying.
Right, I know that, but that's what I'm saying. But he said it was 3,000 kilometers from Earth, not... but he was pointing at the diameter. Oh my God! Okay.
And he's a weatherman.
You'll notice that it's orbiting in only a day, which means it's really close to Jupiter.
All right, here we go.
1,643 kilometers. So Io, 3,643 versus 3,475. They're almost identical in size.
Drink.
100.
Okay, if it isn't exact, fair enough. I mean, I don't remember, but
Well,
let's see where he goes with it.
they're similar, except in all the ways that they're different.
They're same. Yeah, they're
Also
the
has
same.
the most active volcanoes because it's so close to Jupiter.
Yeah. Alright, moving on.
Yep, here we go.
150 kilometers difference. Not too much difference. So let's look at the specifics down here. So the diameter of the moon, 3475 versus 3673. We just looked at that. The distance, the moon is closer to the Earth than Io is to Jupiter. 384,000 kilometers versus 421,800 kilometers. Still relatively close for both of them. No big difference. However, this is pretty cool because our moon is 95.3% the size of Io. So it's just 5% smaller. But it is 9% closer to the Earth than Io is to Jupiter. The shadow cast, the sun eclipse, should be roughly only 8.5% size difference from each other. What I did was I just took the difference in size and then the difference in closeness, and I divided the percentage and came up with 8.5% difference. So a very small difference in the actual diameter of the shadow that would be cast on each object. All right, does that make sense? So they're almost virtually identical. So we had a 70-mile wide total shadow on the Earth. What did we have on Jupiter? Well, they don't tell us, but that's okay.
There's more.
So even if it's, instead of 8.5%, let's go with 10%. We always bleed towards the other side, don't we? So a 70-mile wide shadow of the moon on the Earth times 10% equals 7 miles. So we should have a 77-mile wide shadow of Io on Jupiter.
Yes, tornado.
Doomkopf, Ray, sein Arsch aus.
I'm glad Geostreber didn't hear that, because butcher.
Yes.
I would have done it in it better though. But.
Yeah, here's the thing. You are forgetting to take the distance from the sun into account.
Oh, it gets worse than that.
Because that is an important and critical factor in the difference in appearance between Earth's moon's eclipse and Jupiter's solar eclipse. Okay, let me rephrase that. Earth's solar eclipse is different from Jupiter's solar eclipse because the angular size of the sun is so much smaller when you're at Jupiter than it is.
No, Tornado, I disagree. He's not talking about the eclipse, which to me, when he says that, or when you say that, you're talking about exactly. He's talking about the shadow, not what it looks like relative to the sun. And in that, he's also wrong because the sun shouldn't make any freaking difference. It's still one gigantic light source that is much, much bigger than Jupiter.
Yes, and it's also much, much bigger than Io, which is why you still get the tapering effect and the fuzzy shadow around the umbra. But hear me out, Jen. The reason the shadows look different is because of the distance between the object doing the eclipsing, the object being eclipsed, and most importantly, the distance to the sun.
It's so much worse than that, Tornado. Just give him time.
Oh, God.
What's up, Bo?
God.
What? Oh, yeah, well, I think they basically covered it there. Yeah, sizes matter.
And so does distance.
I mean, shadows are,
But give him time, Tornado. Distance matters for a different reason.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Here we go.
Yay.
So just a little bit bigger shadow. So let's go with 77 miles instead of 70. No big deal, right? Now let's go back to our photograph. All right. Do you see the lie?
Oh my God.
Drink.
The first.
Yes, Tornado.
No, I just see someone who doesn't understand how shadows work.
It's worse than that.
Let's continue and see what
Well,
happens.
he still hasn't made his point. So
Yeah,
let's
we'll
find that
continue.
one out that is.
First lie is there's absolutely no penumbra in this picture. Absolutely none.
Yes.
On a trigger.
Okay, Mr. Lion Connive, you just pulled that straight out of your ass. You see that little dark, fuzzy sort of blob around that totally black portion of the shadow? That's the penumbra that you claim isn't there. Oh no, you're lying out your ass again.
It's worse than that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
God.
continue and see.
The only thing you get when you zoom in right here You get what artistically needs to be done to make it look right in a drawing or a picture. And this is exactly what we see with any shadow. There's about a 1% of the outside of the edge will diffuse like this. This is not this diffuse part. This is not hundreds of times larger than the umbra that we are told always exists. There is no umbra on, there's no penumbra on Jupiter whatsoever. But the main problem.
Yes, Tornado.
He's lying.
Yes, he is.
We know. Now
Moving on.
shush and let it go.
Here we go.
I can't let this go.
Problem is, look how huge this shadow is. We said 10% difference. Let's give it 100%.
Let it play for a second.
Difference. Let's give it 200% difference. Let's say it should be 250 miles away. I mean, wide. 250 miles wide. What do you think of that? Well, let's take a picture of Jupiter and overlay it. Watch this.
Wait,
oh my God! What?
Okay, now we'll call the drink because he's about to get to his big point.
Okay.
He didn't bother looking where this image came from. It came from the Juno probe on a close approach. It's literally not far from the surface of Jupiter or the atmosphere of Jupiter. It's actually much closer than Io is. It's between them both.
Yeah.
So it's getting a very small view of Jupiter. It's
And
not
for the
seeing
nerds out
half the planet.
For the nerds out there, the telescope or camera, on optical camera on the Juno probe, has a field of view of 58 degrees. Just for reference, resolution and all that. I haven't found the resolution itself yet.
Right, but this is literally like taking a globe at your home and zooming in, or putting the camera maybe 3 feet from it, if that, and trying to take a picture and seeing half of the globe. You're not going to.
Whoa.
That's what's happening here.
Cernan in the chat says the picture was taken from 8,000 kilometers.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is pretty close.
Okay. Who wants to do some simple math then? A field of view of 58 degrees, and the resolution of this camera is 1600 by 1200 pixels. That's less than 2 megapixels. How much definition would that give us? I mean, how much could we zoom in and see these details that he claims is...
It's not an issue of zooming. It's the fact that the camera is incredibly close to the surface of the planet.
This is the same dynamic as when we're looking at pictures of the Earth and they say, oh, well, look how big Africa is on this picture. Look how small Africa is on this picture. It's the same. It's the same dynamic.
I think we need something I put in the internal chat, by the way.
All right, let's
Not that
see
I'm going
what
to
he's
provide
got
them.
to say. Let's see if he can make his point.
I'm overlaying a picture. Okay, and I'm going to go back. There's Jupiter. I'm making it, it's actually a little smaller. Can you see how it gets smaller? This new picture of Jupiter?
Farther away.
This picture, and then this picture. A little bit smaller. So I'm making Jupiter a little bit smaller. Again, helping out the other side. I'm not going quite as big as the planet itself. So why am I doing this with this? Okay, let's find
you
out.
Don't understand shit.
Let's take this, because this is a comparison of the Earth. There's the Earth in comparison.
They're not side by side.
Oh
What?
my God!
I don't.
Drink.
Oh, that's painful. It's not. They're not. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, Tornado.
Go ahead, Jess. Go ahead, Jess. Say it.
I just. Yeah.
He's
Anyway.
overlaying a picture taken from much farther away.
Yeah.
Compared to a picture that's taken from 8,000 kilometers above the surface.
So he's misrepresenting the
Yes.
Just a bit.
Of course.
Straw man.
That's painfully stupid.
Well, this goes in line with every video that Thrive and Survive has made regarding shadows of the moon on the Earth. Every one of them is incorrect because he does not understand the relationship of light source to object to shadow to penumbra to umbra.
To camera.
He has no clue.
Apparently. And
In
RJ,
this case-
RJ, you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. I had a worry about that number he was giving.
Okay, I already didn't want to
For
talk.
how far? 21,000 kilometers is from the center of Jupiter. Jupiter is really big. It turns out that Io is closer to Jupiter's cloud cover than the moon is to us.
Yep.
I get the feeling that this fellow wants to believe certain things and is going to believe them no matter what.
Yeah, I think so.
Tortugan alert.
Well, I would like to call him being intellectually dishonest, but I can't say that he's being dishonest. I think in this case he's just stupid.
Yeah.
He still has not
He's
made
just a
his salient point, though. We still don't know what his point is of all this.
He's saying the shadow's too big.
Let's wait for that point.
He's saying that the planet's too small and the shadow's too big.
Yeah. Let's continue on, see what he says.
So, this right here is the Earth, but yet if we go here, oh, do you see the problem?
Yeah, you're
That
No.
you don't
Maybe I
show
can
us a
get this to
complete picture of
overlay.
Jupiter. Yeah,
Let's
we
see.
got
There
the
we
problem.
go. I've made this picture right here smaller in scale than this picture of Jupiter. And here's the Earth, which this is a comparison photo from sciencefacts.com comparing Jupiter and the Earth. So the shadow from something that should be no more than about 10% difference is, I don't know, almost twice the diameter of the Earth.
Drink.
So there's no penumbra.
Yes, Tornado.
First of all, yes, there is a penumbra. That's that little fuzzy thing there. Second of all, did you consider the distance to Jupiter? And third of all, are you just willfully ignorant or are you just being dishonest?
No, he's just stupid.
I actually can't make a judgment call this. I want to, my gut saying intellectually dishonest, but I can't.
I'm gonna
Go
with
behind
my
that
gut
entirely.
here too and just say intellectually dishonest.
Yeah, but then you still use the word intellectual when talking about him. So
I
it's-
honestly don't
it's a
think he
dangerous thing.
researched where the camera was located for this picture.
Let's continue on and see what he says.
And
What, bra?
it is bigger than the Earth, easily bigger than the Earth. Let me bring down the opacity here and show you. Oh, one Earth?
Opacity.
Almost two Earths fit in there.
Oh God.
Okay. Which area of the U.S. does he come from?
The
I like
stupid part.
So
Oh,
the
that
shadow,
would be Florida.
the shadow is 1.5 moons wide, or 1.5 Earths wide.
Oh boy.
That's painful.
But
Yeah.
isn't Mr. Thrive and Survive also the person who said that the sun is 36 birds wide?
No, that was Awake Souls, and it was 26 and a half birds.
Yeah. Let's
boy.
let's see what he's got left.
Lion Knife doesn't know how to camera.
Isn't that amazing?
No.
So, I mean, that means this shadow is, I don't know, 7,000 something miles wide? Because the Earth is roughly, I don't know, 3,800 miles in diameter?
No.
7,200 miles wide? Let's just
Great.
call it
Pause it now.
6,000 miles wide.
Hold on.
It's total BS, people. You're being lied. And they can't think
You're
about
being
you.
lied.
You're being lied. Hold on. I think we had a drink call before that, but I hit the wrong button. Was it Sean?
Well,
that
I don't want.
called
I don't want to be lied. I'd be happy with
The
getting
whole being
laid,
lied
but
threw me off.
drink? Yeah. I don't want to be lied.
Yeah, I really do sincerely hope that one day someone with an extreme amount of patience would be able to pound into his thick skull how one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite moves, cinematography, filming moves work. You know how that zooming, you zoom in while you move the camera back, or the opposite. How that
Totally
thing
zoom.
actually works. No, not just a dolly zoom, but it's a specific
stole
technique.
You stole that effect from Alfred Hitchcock.
Did he?
In Vertigo.
Oh, well, somebody had to come up with it.
All right, let's see if we can continue on. I did go back just a tad because I hit the
He is far beyond crayons.
Isn't that amazing?
No.
So, I mean, that means
You're stupid.
this shadow is, 7,000 something miles wide.
Or you just
Because the Earth is roughly, 3,800 miles in diameter.
Yeah,
7,200.
Yeah, the Earth is not 3,000 miles in diameter. Radius, Bubba. Radius.
Yeah.
Learn your basic geometry.
100 miles wide. Let's just call it 6,000 miles wide.
I thought he
It's
wanted to
total
keep it
BS,
in
people. You're
kilometers.
being lied. And they can't think of all the things they have to make in right proportion and things like that. Because the people would just look at this and say, oh, isn't that fascinating? Yes, that's so true.
Yes, Tornado.
Yawn.
just flat out wrong. Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't know how to camera, and I suspect he doesn't know how to camera on purpose. I also suspect that he only wants to say you're being lied to because he has a conspiracy narrative and he wants to persecute NASA simply because he doesn't like them. Would that be an accurate summation?
I think so. I think Jen has her hand up.
I was just wondering, tomorrow when I redo my nails, should I go with a cherry red or maybe a really deep blood red?
Anyway. Deep cherry red, by the way.
Okay.
Anyway, it's all a lie. Take care, guys. Stand by if you're interested in the little tidbit of the day, and we'll go from there. And please share this everywhere.
Share the stupid.
Food for thought. The government has always lied.
In the first installment in this series, I talked about It's a Wonderful Life and the meanings that you can glean from that. And something was actually in that movie that I think we need to just speak about briefly. This is for the people who continually write me and think that everything the government says is the truth. You know, I showed in a couple videos actually where in the 1960s.
Yes, Tornado.
Simply claiming the government has always lied to us without providing anything to back it up other than, conspiracy this, conspiracy that, fake this, fake that, reptilian zombie overlords. That does nothing to help your case. I mean, sure, we have to deal with the Watergate incident and things of that nature. But here's the thing. If the government was lying to us, wouldn't you think someone else would be, blowing the whistle? And you're also suggesting a major world conspiracy that would require not just every government to be in on it, and mind you, many governments have been at war with each other, the Cold War being the latest and most extreme of examples. You've also got to take into account every single government's entirety of the armed forces. You've got every airline passenger, pilot, or crewman ever. You've got every airline manufacturer ever. You've literally got a conspiracy that would require 2 billion people plus to be in on just to make sure it would work. And the odds of everyone keeping it quiet just on the first day would literally be 8 times less likely than me waking up tomorrow morning with the United States Mega Millions jackpot.
Or the same as Riley getting his paper published.
It literally makes no sense to suggest that this sort of conspiracy would be kept quiet without someone blowing the whistle, like, within a month.
Although I did get just the other day an email from this guy in Nigeria.
The Prince guy, Yeah. There's coffee in that nebula.
Suggesting that such a conspiracy could be going on to keep the masses to keep the masses brainwashed and living a lie, you're suggesting that literally 2 billion people would have to be in on it, and that just doesn't work.
Yeah. Not only has Cletus drunk all the moonshine, he also ate the jug, and it was painted with lead paint.
In the chat, Colorado biker prepper, who I like to refer to as colon prep, says it's the alien shape-shifting reptilian Illuminati elite living under Area 51, controlling everything. I think he's got it.
Oh, or is that what they want you to think? They are the ones who staged the whole, what was it? Crash the.
Well, no, that wasn't they. That was them. Them and they are very different. Sometimes they do it, and other times them do it.
And I get those two confused sometimes.
It's easily done because they all wear the same black clothing.
Of course.
Spy versus spy. No, wait, that's a different one. Yeah, great game.
You got Mad Magazine, my man.
Here we go.
Nah. The government was putting at the bottom of the national anthem that would come on every night when the local stations would sign off, and it would come on every morning when the local stations would sign on. You would have "Oh Say Can You See" by the dawn's early light, blah 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 blah. But when you slowed it down, of course you didn't have the technology to slow it down in the 60s and early 70s, it said trust the government and different things like that. Subliminals were put in there.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Did it actually do that?
He wasn't even alive then. I was. I watched. It wasn't there.
Tell us, what did it say then? Oh, I know. I know. This house is clear. Or something like that.
Clean.
They're here. No, they're back.
Tornado, you have your hand up?
People don't know.
What we have here is Periodolia.
Or Flipholia.
No, actually, I gotta use
Hey, that works.
seeing patterns in places where patterns don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Flirfolia. It's an excellent term, Paul.
That needs to be an official term when they see something that isn't.
Yeah, let's continue. We're
Let's
almost
see if
there.
the guy can dig his stupid hole even deeper.
Oh, I'm sure he can.
Yeah.
And there's people that deny that even happened. I've done 2 videos on it. If you do a search, you'll find it. But here's another thing. A lot of people say, well, they didn't start really lying to us until maybe the 60s or 70s. Really, the government, which means govern, to control, meant mind, to control the mind.
No. Your etymology degree has lapsed.
Okay, what does... Oh, man. Okay, my hand isn't working now.
God.
Neither is his.
Okay. Oh, crap. Whew. Okay, I'll try and compose myself here. What do you call the written word or spoken word equivalent of pareidolia? What do you call that? Is there a word for it? Because I think it applies.
Tornado, you have your hand up?
Yes. Dummkopf, redet sein aus!
Oh, we have to play that back in reverse. I bet it says something satanic. Because, you know.
Because they're trying to control our minds.
They're trying to govern our minds.
Dude.
Govern our mints.
You're breaking down. No, that's not how any of that works. You don't just get to
govern the mints.
To control mind. No. That's not how that works. If you want you can't just pull definitions out of thin air.
Yeah, I think he took the term sniffing his own farts too far. I'm not going to elaborate on what I mean, but
you sure he's not sniffing the lead paint?
No, he drank the gallon of it.
Be eating.
Why am I seeing
Oh boy.
scrap
Alright.
World War II scrap drive?
Here we go.
Undo looker.
Since the existence of government, they have been controlling and lying to us. Now, here's something that let me read this here. During World War II, scrap drives were a popular way for everyone to contribute to the war effort. By recycling unused or unwanted metal, for example, the government could build ships, airplanes, and other equipment needed to fight the war. Rah, rah! And they got everybody to do these things, and you could see it in It's a Wonderful Life. Scrap drives, metal drives, rubber drives, blah, blah, blah. This was a way to just keep the people busy and make them think they were contributing to the war effort to get them emotionally in it.
Drink.
That's what
Drink.
Yes, Jen.
How dare this son of a bitch try any sort of depreciation of any effort that anybody put out in World War II in this nation so that we would beat back the fucking Nazis. This guy is just absolutely horrid human being. How dare he? Does he understand how many millions of people died? What the fuck does he think he is?
My grandma was part of the scrap drives. You know, my great grandma,
my grandma helped to build bombs.
My
This
grandma
man
helped
is
to
a
build
pathetic
engines.
wretch.
Thank you, RJ.
He's a what?
I like RJ's
A pathetic
description.
wretch.
Yes.
He deserves nothing but the contempt, and little children should spit upon him on the street.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
and he should be named Scrooge.
Oh, thank you, RJ. I was really triggered. I needed that.
And
my
Bo.
nearly lost his leg in World War II. So, yeah.
Bo, you had your hand up?
Yeah, and I lost some family members in the gas chambers. So yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's
but to try and lighten the mood a little bit here. If anyone ever was wondering about how you could make a weird difference to somebody, this is how you turn the lovable, huggable mama bear called Jen Morgan, turn her into Tornado. I would have never thought that would be possible. Wow. But
Flat Earth is just
warranted.
stupid, but this is seriously maligning the sacrifices real human beings made in the real world. So his head can be up his ass about IO, but the Second World War, I'm afraid you have just left the bus.
Yeah, if inciting to reverse terrorism was ever a thing, this would be it. I think.
Push him off the freaking bus at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, but he has to only get injured, not die from it, because that would be too easy.
Oh no, we have to put him. We should have paint him green, stuff him in a blender, and then send him off on the
Frog
road.
in a blender?
Yes.
Do we really want him to die that quickly? Without
Frog in a blender
an
does
opportunity
not die
for
that
pain?
quickly.
No, frog in a blender does
Ew.
not die that quickly.
Things I don't want to know.
It was an old
Goldfish in a blender.
animation game that.
Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a frog.
Good
rather
morning,
hilarious.
Morton.
Hello, Morton. You're
No,
late.
Morton.
Hello, Morton.
Morton.
Yeah, this has not. His name has nothing to do with Rick and Morty. It's not
No,
even.
it's like the salt.
Interesting that Morton shows up right when I'm getting salty. Hey?
And he's starting to
That wasn't salty
go
enough
the
for the
alleged,
situation.
and he's also going the allegedly Dave route as well. We in my class? What the?
Yeah,
Okay,
seriously,
then.
be more salty about this fucking nugget asshole.
I feel assaulted.
Dare I say, moving on?
Yeah.
Which means playback. Yeah.
This was for. Ask anybody that works for metal, or works with metal rather, that if you take,
Andy.
you can't take an aluminum pot
Andy.
and then mix it with a steel pot or an iron pot or kettle or whatever you want to call it. You can't mix different metals together, melt them down, and then use them to build ships and tanks and things like that.
Drink. drink, drink, drink.
All the drinks.
Holy
God.
crap! Woo.
All right, you
Damn. Was that who? What? Who?
dumb fuck. The dumb fuck doesn't understand the fucking word is called recycling. You got the metals, they recycled the metals, then they melted the metals down and used it to form different parts on different things. It wasn't all mixed together.
And the truth is, you
Also-
can mix metals, and that's how you come up with a thing called alloys.
Like this guy is
Really?
rejecting the entirety of metallurgy. The dumber browner chakra swinging the Zeiskopf.
And actually, you know what? If you have steel pots and pans or aluminum pots and pans, they can easily be recycled. But the copper and steel, or copper and aluminum, especially the copper and steel pan. No, sorry, damn it.
Wires.
The aluminum and copper pans that you use for induction cooking plates. They normally say that metal cannot be recycled. However, that's not entirely correct, because you can to a certain percentage separate those two metals again. However, it is way too expensive to make any economical sense. But you can separate them. It's hard. It's tough, difficult, but you can.
And the
But not all metals. Sorry.
The softer metals were used to make wires for the engines and other electronic parts. Oh.
We're
It's
so
honestly,
close now.
it's as if those mines that mine gold, they apparently they are unable to extract the gold from the copper and from the, I think it's Nick. We need Stephen here as a geologist. Different types of elements. They can actually they have to be able to separate those, different types of metals from ore. They can actually do that. You fuck. And just imagine a speech bubble up above my head, and wow.
I get
Ramble, waka waka.
Good night, Andy DeWitt. So good night, Andy.
Yeah.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Good morning and good night. You
Glad
shill.
Glad you
You
stopped by.
SpaceX. Yeah, Andy, you SpaceX shill you.
Yeah. Damn him.
Oh, jealous, but I'm not saying that officially.
Alright, here we go.
It's totally useless. Now, there are some honest places
you
that
are.
have now reported this, but as you can see here, Scrap for Victory,
Citation.
Library of Congress blogs. I don't know if they admit it there, but it was all BS. Not one pot or pan was used to win the war. All it did was keep the people busy, thinking that they were investing in helping the guys overseas. Meanwhile, it stimulated the economy because people ended up having to buy new pots and pans, new tires, new
There
whatever
was
they
nothing
turned
to
in.
buy, you numbskull.
Yeah.
I wonder if this asshole believes that the Americans won the Second World War, or
Maybe he doesn't
because
think there was a
neither
Second
of
World
them are
War.
true.
That's what I'm beginning to think.
I'm not real sure what he thinks.
Why isn't it fake too? I mean, after all, why wouldn't the government, why wouldn't the history books, why wouldn't the Smithsonian Channel all lie to us that this World War II never happened? Never mind that there are people who claim they were alive during the Second World War. They can't possibly be telling the truth, because we all know from the video that we just watched that we'll make up everything we want, that it can't possibly be true. Where does this end?
It doesn't, and that's a problem.
Alright. Here we go.
Yeah, Tornado, calm down, take a stress pill. Relax.
At least I'm not screaming.
For recycling. just for BS. You know, a modern day version of this is, and I don't know, the technology may have changed in the last 20 years. I don't know. But the same thing is true with plastics. You can't take different plastics and melt them down and come up with a way to recycle the plastic. At least you couldn't 20 years ago. But more than 20 years ago, they were
separate
gaps.
them.
That at least is true.
That's what all those
20
little
years
numbers
ago.
on plastics are.
Yeah, but he did say at least 20 years ago. I mean, yeah.
Well, his brain is about what, 1580?
Yeah, again, it's so annoying. But he is correct in the fact that if by mistake a recycling plant or whatever mixes polyethylene with polypropylene, that can mess things up and ruin the entire batch. That is correct. But that is why you also have that numbering system and other ways of what do you call it, sorting.
Super chat.
Ooh, yay!
Yeah, from Morton Nielsen, 45 DKK. He says, "Wow, RJ, easy now."
Second RJ.
What is DK?
Thank you, Martin.
Dick dollars. That's Danish crowns or kroner.
Kroners.
Krona.
Krona.
Krona. Yeah.
Not Coronas.
We could all use
macaroons
some
now.
Coronas. Oh my god.
Here we go.
Cojones
We'll go ahead.
or-
We've only got a minute left.
Gathering plastic. And I can't remember. Actually, one of the networks did an expose on it one time.
Please.
Just one time. And they showed a guy pushing with a machine all this plastic into a corner, and they exposed that nothing was ever done with it because different plastics or different percentages of...
Yes.
3 words, Mr. Lion. Citation freaking needed.
Mm-hmm.
The man that doubts everything. I don't think he does that.
Jen, you have your hand up?
Yeah, he's actually is partially correct here. There is a lot of problems with recycling plastics, that things that are not identified or have substances in them for how they were used that that make the piece unusable for recycling, and they are generally have to group together and they go into a landfill together, and nobody cares. But again, of course, we all know that they separate plastics for recycling too.
Right.
And Bo, you have your hand up?
Yeah, and even if, oh well, I know it's for a fact that it happens because people are assholes. That one company, or even 100 companies, what do you call it? Faked that stuff to make money. That doesn't mean that everybody does. By the way, also, he said something about this. He didn't use the word conspiracy, but talk about this scrapping for what is it? Scrap for victory thing.
Yeah,
was a hoax or whatever, something like that. And there, what he mentioned something about articles or whatever that was up there. I have been trying to find it, assuming that it is called Scrap for Victory. I haven't found anything except an article from New York Times. I'll just read the what do you call it, the headline just under it or whatever. Conspiracy theory is the refuge of the feeble-minded. I don't have to go on, I think. But I haven't found a shred of what he's talking about that you can find stuff about.
I'm
this.
shocked.
Not
Are you
even on
saying
YouTube
this man
yet.
doesn't have sources?
of course not. It's all in his fucking head.
Sean, it's
out.
time to come in. Oh,
He
Which
needs
one?
to be taken out,
I think they both apply.
drawn and quartered.
bad method yields bad results.
Let's see if we can finish this up real quick.
One kind of plastic versus another, they can't be melted together and used. It's just useless.
Wrong.
And the same thing was true with gathering metal in World War II and rags, even rags. Do you think rags helped win the war? The government's been lying to us for a long time, folks.
Yes, it did, you stupid fucking moron with no brain and no...
Some rags can be disassembled to the point of being able to be fibrously reconnected together in the same spinning process as the original material, and others can be rendered down into making wonderful paper.
And in fact, for example, the big rental companies for doormats for companies or towels, bed sheets, etc., 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 and diapers for that matter, they tend to sell their different fabrics when they're too worn to be rented out. And one type of industry that really loves the secondhand used reusable diapers are videographers and photographers, but mainly videographers. They cut up pieces of washable diapers are perfect for cleaning camera lenses, in a hurry, as a throwaway item. So yes, even as something as simple as using I can't even.
Super chat.
How can I? Oh, damn it! A scrap of textile can be used, for mechanics cleaning. You idiots! Is basically what I'm trying to mumble here. I mean,
we got a $5 super chat from Ranger Man 9404. He says, "I used to work in plastics. We made office chair bases from regrind plastic."
Yeah.
As
long as it isn't what is it called? Thermal.
You have your hand up, Jen?
Or plastic.
What does any of this have to do with the shadow on Jupiter?
It has nothing.
This is his
This is all filler, so he didn't have a 6-minute video.
I thought this was obvious. Holy crap!
This guy's such a
YouTube favors
dickhead.
People start waking up.
So we had to fill
Okay,
out
this is
the
the
rest
end of the
time.
second of the series. God bless each and every one of you. Please share this video everywhere. And if you like my work, please find the links below.
He made it funny.
Yeah. How about new? Yeah.
Did you catch that super chat?
No.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. Oh, by the way, I finally found something about the Scrap Perfect Tree conspiracies. Guess where I found it?
On his webpage.
The University of the Internet. YouTube, of course.
As far as recycling goes, I also recycle my underwear on eBay, gently used.
Too much
$10.
information.
No. Selling unwashed underwear on eBay is not called recycling. That's called a biohazard.
It depends on who you're selling it to.
So
It's called a fetish.
Actually illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, what did
I think
this
I can
person-
sum up the entirety of Mr. Thrive and Survive's video in a
Wah,
few
wah, wah, wah,
short
wah.
things of what Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't understand. Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't know how to camera. Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't know how to number plastics. Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't know how to space, and Mr. Thrive and Survive doesn't know how to metallurgy.
Mr. Thrive and
He doesn't
Survive,
know a lot of anything.
Thrive and whatever has no clue how to think.
He just doesn't understand.
No, he can't think.
I think Colorado biker prepper, said it the best.
So, like,
This
tornado.
guy can recycle his nervous system for lead. Beautiful.
Well, I think that was the end of that video. I think we'll probably wrap things up for the night there.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting late, and that was a whole.
I'm
hell
never
of a lot
going
of
to be able to
stupid
get
tonight.
that time back.
I got a suggestion
So,
for next week.
does that?
JC,
Yeah.
do you think next week we can do Bruce Lipton's quantum thing with the
Lightning
70
bolts. Oh God.
70,000 volts, 70 trillion volts.
We probably won't because we did, Skeptic did just cover that. But I mean, send me the link so I can take a look at it, and then we'll go from there.
Maybe
did
it's
anybody-
time
I'd like to talk
to
to Skeptic about it. if
Did
he-
anybody
if
see
he-
the live debate between Skeptic and Thompson?
I haven't watched it yet.
or
I haven't watched the whole thing.
How did it go?
what about the water? Billions of years.
I mean, it
guy.
appeared from what I could see, Skeptic was quite agitated.
Well, he did have Thompson in front of him, so.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to head
So,
off.
yeah. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap things up
Unplug.
here.
Yeah, unplug the pug's earplugs.
Yeah, with
Plug
that,
and
we're
plug.
definitely gonna go ahead and wrap things up.
Yeah,
And
Tired.
yeah, it's been a lot of stupid tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we are the worst masochists
These are
on
people
the
who are alive in
university
this century.
on the University of YouTube.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out again
Well.
tonight. We do apologize for it being on a different night this week. Next week, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Next week we return to our regularly scheduled program on Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, because Eastern is the best time.
It's the only time, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And in the description of the video, there are some links there. There's a link to the Discord channel if you guys want to stay up to date on things going on. There's that. I am looking to find a day and time that works best for the majority of people to do a chat in the Discord server. So head on over there. There's also a link to the Patreon, which keeps us doing what we do here. Definitely helps.
The stupid stuff.
Keep
Hit that-
stupid going.
Hit that like button, please.
Yes, definitely hit the like button. And yeah, I mean, feel free to
that's
message
not-
me if you have any suggestions or anything like that as well. Does anybody have anything else they want to add before we head off?
I have two things.
Yes, Bo.
Could we please stop torturing that poor obese pug?
No, I love it. I think it's the best. I do.
And also, yeah, sorry. I'm sure that many of you here know who Multi Tom is, or heard of him.
Oh yeah.
That British guy who is the guy who apparently thinks that the Vikings in the old, the original pirates, actually did have horns on their helmets. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Geostreber is hosting a live stream later tonight actually, in about 12 hours, where he goes through multi-dum-dums inability to, anything except breathe, maybe. I'll throw that link in the thing. The live chat, that's the word. Damn. Yeah, I'm tired. Dang. Yeah, and I'll stick that in, in a couple of seconds, maybe.
Well, don't talk about sticking
now.
things
Yeah.
in. Phrasing.
Hey, I've been sticking my hand up every. Never mind.
Yep. And just in relation to the poor pug on screen there, I do have a Logical Troglodyte and Mr. Victory from over at the Shills. They've both been helping me out with some of the artistic side of things, and hopefully we'll be seeing a new pug avatar making its appearance soon. So we'll see. But with that, does anybody
gotta read Harry Waters?
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I just read Harry Warp's comment. Oh crap! I need to know where that is. I have to watch that.
Yeah. So with that, we are gonna end it there. If nobody else has anything they wanted to add, all good. Cool.
Stay safe, people. Northeast just had somewhat
Don't accept any
blizzard.
wooden penguins.
Yeah, stay out of the fur first.
Don't give any lightsabers to penguins.
No, very, very dangerous there.
And with that, good night, everybody.
Stay warm, guys.